Alright, so hello Internet, welcome to Hoard of the Dragon Queen number 14. This is the Nerd Immersion channel here on Twitch, where we play Dungeons & Dragons once to twice to sometimes 3 times a week for extended periods of time, from anywhere from 3 to 7 hours, although sometimes that involves Chinese food and or burritos, so you never know. What can you look forward to on this channel as a general rule? Silliness, craziness, a lot of conversation with the chat, so if you guys are not logged into Twitch, you should, because you can enter to get some pretty sweet Flint bucks and play some games with our in-chat currency, which have been, most of them, updated, so they don't all say the Sandstorm kicks up now. They all have different terminology there, which I know people have been complaining about, that sandstorms everywhere. But yeah, this is Hoard of the Dragon Queen. Hoard of the Dragon Queen was the first, I guess, aside from the starter set adventure, pre-written campaign released by Wizards of the Coast with the help of the folks from Kobold Press, who made the Tome of Beasts and other things like that. So, this is what it looks like, which is where the super awesome overlay in the background was created by Miss Light Nevaeh here, who's playing with us. So, the group has had some ups and downs. They have gone through a couple different party members, but that's okay, because I think maybe we've locked into where we're going to be at, possibly going forward. But, you know, they could die tonight. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I hope not, but because I don't want to have everybody make new characters again. But we'll see. Alright, so I guess what I'll do is I'll go through what happened last time. I do just want to give you guys a heads up that there will not be an Out of the Abyss tomorrow, because Sean is not going to be there for personal business, so we'll be picking up with another Storm King's Thunder adventure run by Pat. That'll be tomorrow evening. I'm also going to be starting a new campaign, I believe, added to the channel on the Mondays when the Belladonnas aren't playing, starting in July, and potentially some Wednesday character creation streams. We'll see how that goes. And there is a new hub on the Nerd Immersion website, nerdimmersion.com/D&D, where we're going through and compiling all of our D&D stuff, including character sheets for all of the characters. It's a slow process to get all of the PDFs there. There are 2 currently, so be on the lookout for that. If you ever wanted to know what people had as far as weapons and stats, you can check them out there. Okay, that being said, what happened last time? The Belladonnas left Baldur's Gate to join up with a caravan heading north to a destination they did not know. Turns out that destination was the city of Waterdeep. I realize I need to change the name of the stream as well, because I didn't do that. There we go. And they basically all signed on with different caravans to be either assistants, proteges, apprentices, or in the most common of cases, bodyguards. They all picked out and kind of tested out where they'd be with different groups, and everybody got hired on to everything from wood carvers to perfume salesmen, because, you know, why not? And they've been traveling north for about 3 days at this point. They've heard some interesting things. They've done some spying on the Cult of the Dragon, who is part of the caravan, their primary mission. They were joined by a mysterious figure in a hooded cloak, a cat lady named Mir, its backseat rogue, and the group, there's been cat cuddles, and then there's been accusations and thievery, and basically the arrest of 2 people. And Odella has now commandeered 2 fur carts. They're basically, from what I can gather, because I haven't put this much forethought into it, I guess they're hers now? So, you know, that's a thing. Yeah, and I think, unless there was anything else that I missed, I think I pretty much covered everything that happened last time, right?
Yeah, I think so. No.
Cool. So, yeah, I think without further ado, why don't we jump right into things, you guys were on your third day of travel. You were just entering. Let's change the music. Just Dragon Ball Super. Let's get ourselves some. Here we go. Foresty traveling music. Alright. So, you guys just entered into the Fields of the Dead on your third day of travel. And why don't I have all of you guys, or anybody that's interested, let me rephrase, roll me a history check. We'll see if you guys know anything about what this area is. Alright.
Oh shoot, is it too late to cast guidance on myself?
I'm gonna say yes.
Alright, that's fair.
So... Alright, Mir, did you want to make a history check?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yep. Took me a second.
Alright, that's fine. Well, so, Roswin, you know, for everybody else, because, you know what? Probably with a name like the Fields of the Dead, you guys are like, that doesn't sound interesting, let's not pay attention to that. But you know that these kind of rolling hills are... Again, there is forest around here, but it is kind of... There is also sections that are open plains. And this was... Centuries back, this land was a massive battleground between all of the lands kind of in the south, in the Kalimshan region, and most of the northern part of the Sword Coast. And as you guys are going through, you can kind of see that even to this day, there are still bones littering the ground. There are stone cairns where bodies have... Thank you, Katie, for that. You know, there are cairns. You know, you'll see that most of it now, though, is used for farmland because it's been churned up and tilled up from all of these battles. So, but occasionally, farmers, when they're out plowing the fields, they'll like turn up a piece of armor or like a skull or various weapons and things like that. So not exactly nothing, you know, it's just kind of a little, it's got some history here. And there were some famous kings that were buried here that died in ancient battles. But for the most part, things go uneventfully for all of today. So I will pitch it to you guys. You have a whole, what did I say? It was 8 hours of travel on the road. You guys can do whatever you like. If there's nothing you want to do, it covers you'll cover 15 miles today. Yeah, and if there's nothing you want to do,
Wait, no. There's something that I've been wanting for a really, really long time.
Okay, all right.
I would like to cast Speak with Plants and say hello to Helia, my little buddy.
Alright. Let me see here. So, during the course of the day, you prepare your third level spells. And so you cast Speak with Animals, or Speak with Plants rather. And you see like a rustling from the sunflower. And what do you say to the sunflower exactly?
I say, hi Helia, I'm so excited to talk to you. I've been wanting this for a really long time, and you're just the cutest and the best, and I love you a lot. What's new?
And the sunflower, speaking back to you, goes, "Hey, not much, dollface, but I gotta tell you, Helia's real cute and all, but name's Floyd."
What?
Goes, sorry, darling, my name is Floyd. I appreciate it. I'm trying to look out for you, kid. You look like you're kind of a little bit green and you need a little assistance, so I'm here if you want to talk, but my name's Floyd.
You're really funny, Helia, but I know, little lady.
Goes,
This is
I mean,
this is a good joke.
yeah, it's I'm just not laughing. I I mean, you've made some good jokes in our time together, but I must confess this is not a joke. This is who I am, and I'm sorry if that displeases you.
No, you should just be yourself and never let anybody tell you to be somebody different, because you're still you. Floyd? Floyd, you said your name was Floyd.
He goes, that's right, Dollface. And he goes, I've seen you dyed your hair and you got this harness and this weird thing on your head. So maybe you should be taking your own advice. Don't let anybody tell you who you should be, and you just be yourself, kid.
Well, we're being sneaky right now, so I have to look this way. So, joke's on you. I know what I'm doing, mister. You guy.
Yeah, never doubted for a second you knew what you were doing.
Well, thank you. This is not what I don't... This is interesting. This is, life just sometimes throws you a curveball, and sometimes, your buddy that you've known for years, your little pal, your girl Helia is a Mr. Floyd, and that's life, So...
Quite profound. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Sure. Well, how'd you become animate, Mr. Floyd?
He goes, well, I mean, how much time do you have? Because that's a long
I've got
story.
8 hours.
I meant more like, how long is the spell? Because you don't have 8 hours.
This is the first time. I'm sorry. 10 minutes, go. Mid-story, it's just like, and then Big Charlie. And then,
yeah, goes, oh, where to begin? Goes, well, well, I must confess I wasn't really ready for this. It's a pretty personal story of heartbreak and times long since past.
you don't have to tell me anything you're not comfortable with. You've seen me cry like a lot recently, and I just feel like, even though I apparently know nothing about you, we're pretty close. We've known each other for longer than I've known any of these ladies, so...
And he goes, and I'm glad that I've been here, and we've been together. It wasn't something that I thought I wanted or needed, but it's been good, and good for me, and I think it's been good for you too. But I don't think I'm ready to let it all out. Maybe. It's been real swell having this conversation, but maybe in the future, after we talk a little bit more, I'll let you know. I'll let you know all about her.
Her, ooh, this sounds good. Maybe a bedtime story someday. Well, before this wears off, is there anything that you need, anything that you'd like? I'd be more than happy to get it for you because you don't have thumbs.
He goes, you'd be surprised. I did braid your hair with no thumbs. I'm pretty
That's true,
good.
I didn't even think about that.
So you'll find, maybe now that we can have this kind of conversation, I'm a flower of many talents.
What are the talents?
Oh, you really just let the mystery really just permeate out there. He goes, well, if you find yourself in a pinch, I may be able to take care of a few things. I'll just leave it at that.
Wow, I know nothing more than when I started this conversation with you about your skills. But that is okay. You take your time and you just let it out when you're ready. We'll have to have a signal, like if you want to talk to me, you know, just kind of like, you know, tug on my hair or something, and we'll go from there, okay?
Sounds good, Toots.
Okay, well, I'm probably running out of time, but this has been unexpected, but not bad. And I just want you to know that I appreciate you. Now, go back on my hair so that you are safe and sound.
All right. And the flower nuzzles itself back into your hair.
And Rosalind thinks to herself, I've changed in front of him so many times. This is so weird. Okay.
Sometimes.
Well,
That's also the negative of speak with animals and speak with plants, is when you spend a lot of time around certain animals and certain plants, and then you just start asking them questions. You may not find you like the answers.
well, that's something to think about for the next 7 hours and 50 minutes. So,
Did anybody have anything else that they wanted to do today?
Nope, that was entertaining enough, I think.
Alright. Oh my god, I've been waiting so long. Now I can change the music back. This is... saving that music for this long in preparation.
I'm mad because I didn't have my music on.
Missed out. Alright, so you guys travel, I will say, for a whole nother day goes by, basically, traveling through the fields of the dead. Again, if there's anything specific you'd like to do, people you'd like to talk to, or if you just want to ride it out, that's cool too. And then, for the most part, the second day kind of goes by uneventfully as well.
Okay. Just same Rosalind stuff, helping people make extra food and talking to people I'm traveling with.
Which people? Oh, just like the Saralim brothers?
Yeah, but I keep giving Mir and Odella like these looks like, you guys, so cute, but like give no explanation.
Okay.
I don't get it at all.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Like, me, what?
the rest of you see these weird, like, and it's Roswin, so I am at, like, they're not subtle, like, cute, like, oh, I know, big wink face, like, they're not subtle looks. Whether or not you guys interpret what they mean, I don't know, but she's just like, you know, all the time, so.
Nope, no clue.
Alright. You got, maybe she, and like, Mir, you've only met her like a couple days ago, like maybe she has a weird facial tick, you don't know. Okay, so on the 5th day, as you guys are traveling along, let's see, who is where? Sorry, I gotta look at my notes. Okay, there we go. Okay. Because you're the closest, Mir, make me a perception check. Okay, 8. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so nothing really happens during the course of the day. As you guys kind of stop on, you guys kind of stop about halfway through, It's on the 5th day. The horses are starting to get a little bit tired. So you guys, because you know you're going to take the next day to just take the 6th day is just a rest day for the animals. So you guys are just going to hang out where you're at. But you guys stop kind of midday to take a lunch break. What's your guys' plan? Do you guys eat meals? I know you guys eat dinner together. Do you guys like stop and go like meet up to have lunch, or how does that work?
No, I mean, I think we have the discussion of we don't want to be seen together too much.
Thank you, Allie Rocks, for the follow. Enjoy your Flint Bucks. Also, I'm in the. This is a thing that I've been saying for a while, which is going to happen once I get my conversations back with the folks from Nord Games. We will be getting their critical hit, critical miss decks, and then we'll be implementing those for the streams going forward. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Okay, so you guys all stop for lunch, and based on... I'm going to say just based on the proximity, because you moved them to the animals to the back, and Roswin, you're way up near the front. I'm gonna say, Mir, make me a perception check, and Lux, make me one at disadvantage. 9. And 19. Okay, Lux, you're that's all right. You notice a guy who's got a cart, which is impressive that you missed it because he's the cart right in front of you, Mir. The cart right in front of Mir. You notice, Light, that there is the man who is running this cart. Like, you see his boots are like pristine, shiny black, and he's got like a long petticoat, and he's very prim, and his hair is like elegantly coiffed, and he has like, you know, he's all very prim and proper, and you see that he's got like a fancy looking rapier at his hip, and you notice that he seems to be like, as the carts start to get up and start moving, he seems to be like excessively whipping his horses. Like it is not... This isn't like the normal amount of like care that these horses should be getting. And you also notice, I guess, over the course when you guys were taking a short like little break there, that the amount of food that he was giving to his horse the horses didn't seem like the right amount. Like it was too little food. So, I don't know if you want to do anything with that, Lux, but that's what you gather.
So, I mean, we're on the road right now, right?
Yeah, I'll say you guys are getting ready to start moving. Like, the carts are just getting going, we'll say.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and gallop ahead where his cart is.
Okay, when you get up there, because you get close now, you see that the collars and the kind of the girths around these animals, you can see the skin underneath is chafed sore. Like there's sores and it's all chafed, and their hide is kind of like blistered and disgusting. And they like the horses seem like beat and hurt, and he's like, and he's like come on, and he's just whipping and like trying to get these things to go, and he sees you right up, and then that's what you see.
Hey, horses there. They look a little unhealthy.
He goes, ugh, I know. Useless nags. He goes, well, your horse looks like a fine horse. Why don't you sell it to me? Because these are useless. I need new horses. Fresh horses. Ones that are ready for the road.
I pet mine. You know, seeing what you're doing to those horses, it's... no. Maybe you should. Maybe you should walk.
Ha! Ha ha! No. And he just... you also notice there, in his cart, like riding alongside and in the back, there is a man in like long flowing blue robes and another man in gleaming plate mail. that are like traveling with this guy. And he's like, well, so I do not walk. And he just...
The horses are not going to make it if you keep this up.
He goes, that's what I get for buying such cheap horses in Baldur's Gate of all places.
Well, maybe you should feed them more.
He
And
goes,
stop whipping them.
well, how will I get them to move?
You just give them a little nudge. That's all you need to do.
He goes,
Keep
well,
whipping them, they get weaker. When they get weaker, they won't be able to move anymore.
well, my dear lady, I shall take your kind criticisms into consideration. And then he just kind of sits there and he kind of just like crosses his arm and kind of like,
Well,
Howdy.
do you have any food?
well, I have some, and you see like in the back of his wagon, there's a fair amount of like horse feed in the back there.
You might want to start giving them food right now. They need their strength.
Fine. And he'll, you'll see him like kind of go into the back, and he starts rummaging around in the feed bags and things in the back of the caravan. And he goes, well, because I shall feed them extra when we stop, for we must continue or the caravan will be delayed, and I am sorely missed in Waterdeep, I assure you.
Yes, but you take care of them and you can get there all on time.
Well, all right then.
Alright. I head back to my...
And you head back to...
Yep.
I can see the hatred seething in Katie's eyes this entire time.
I don't
Yeah,
see
I-
anything.
Yeah, I want to keep an eye on him.
Okay. Yeah, a couple hours go by, and for like an hour and a half after you leave, like he's just kind of holding the reins, doing whatever. And then like a little bit later on, you hear like a couple of whip cracks, and about 2 hours after you had initially left, you actually see the horse collapse in it. One of the horses collapses in its harness and like falls to the ground, and the wagon kind of tilts and upends. And he hops out of his
I would immediately go over there.
his carriage. Well, as you're riding up, he hops out, and you see him with like a club and like his rapier in the other hand, and he's like,
Whoa.
and he's like, as you're getting up there, he's like beating this horse.
I shove him out of the way.
Okay, make me an athletics check. I'm not even gonna bother. He's a dandy. You shove him out of the way, and he's like, he kind of like, and he flips his hair back, and he goes, "Excuse me, madam." Goes, "This horse is clearly useless. I'm trying to give it a swift death. Either that, or I'll just cut it off and leave it here to die. I must continue onward."
And what about the other one?
He goes, "Well, that one will have to do all of the work then, I guess."
I go to the horse. How does it look?
It's not as bad as the other one, but it's still bad.
I start kind of talking to it and coaxing it.
Okay. Yeah, the horse, you can see like in its eyes that this horse is like stressed and strained, and you can see again as you get close and they're petting it, you can see like the sores of the reins, and you can see it's foaming, at the mouth and stuff. Like this horse has been pushed pretty hard.
Yeah, I start loosening the reins.
Okay, and he goes, and he kind of stands up and approaches
you.
you.
See this right here? You see the markings?
Yes.
Yeah. How tight did you put it on?
He goes, I think it's more than suitable. He goes, they're just animals after all.
Really? How would you like me to put this around your neck?
He goes, I would highly recommend that you do not try, for upon your arrival in Waterdeep, you will have quite the garrison awaiting to arrest you.
Has the caravan stopped?
I'll say from him back it has. And then, like, eventually people will be like, oh shit, like, they'll turn around and see. Because you're behind him, like, his horse collapsed, so, like, it stops the caravan from him back. So, basically, yeah, Mir, you start to see all of this because you're right behind him. So that is, on the map here, that's number 7 on the map, the list of carts there. So you see this happening, and you see the carts kind of stop, and eventually, Roswin, since you're way up in the front, like, the carts start to stop because they're like, oh, something's happening behind us, what's going on?
Yeah, my eyes are flickering back and forth. It's funny how you say that.
I mean, I
I
don't...
guarantee these animals won't make it. So how are you going to get there?
He goes, I'll
And
just...
I start loosening the other animals' collar.
I'm gonna start walking up towards the commotion, just to
Yeah.
see what's going on.
I'm going to
Yeah.
excuse myself from my party and I'll be like, oh, I'm just gonna see what's going on.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask Lux what's happening.
So,
I look at Mir. Well, apparently, you have somebody who likes to abuse animals.
he goes, they're just animals, my dear. They are here to do our
Those
bidding.
people, right?
He goes, well, clearly we are. We care for them, therefore we are better than them. They are here, they are beasts of burden to do our bidding.
That's interesting. Very interesting. And who are you? As I'm loosening the other animal's neck.
He says, I am a name that I wrote down.
Whatever it is, it's gonna be that name, comma, asshole.
He
My
says,
character sheet.
I am Virgil Highflame of the city of Waterdeep.
Virgil?
I need to make him a noble. Well, that was the first name that came to mind.
Ah. So, what's your business over there?
He goes, I'm one of the great noble houses of Waterdeep. My family owns most of the trade district. I was sent to Baldur's Gate for some menial trade agreements, but clearly my time is better spent. Unfortunately, Father said I needed to take the caravan back rather than paying for a teleportation circle. I just never understand these things.
Clearly, you don't know how to treat people or animals. And you said I could see the people in the back?
There is basically what looks like a traditional knight and a traditional kind of wizard. Essentially.
You two in the back. You know what he's doing here?
He goes, why, yes, my dear, we unfortunately are paid and are greatly indebted to his father, who bid us to accompany him and to listen to him completely and follow whatever whatever rules and commands that he set forth. And he says, that is enough! And then the kind of wizardly guy kind of is just like, and puts his hands like in the sleeves of his robes, and just kind of like, you can see he's got like a staff kind of, and he's got it like his hands in his robes, and his staff's kind of sitting there, and you can see the knight is sort of like uneasy, like you can hear the squeaking in his plate mail, like he's got the visor down and everything, but he seems a little bit he doesn't say anything, but you can see that they're both kind of perturbed, but their hands are kind of tied.
So, at the moment, both of you are protecting him.
That is what his father has paid us to do. We are bidden to protect him from any kind of harm.
So what's going to happen if these horses just collapse? I mean, You guys are stranded.
You are not wrong, my dear. I feel we would, I'm sure. And then he starts to, and then he says, that is enough.
I'm sorry, Virgil. I'm talking to them. I'm not talking to you.
Well, they are mine to command, so if you have any business with them, then you have business with me. So please, continue. And I'll say at this point, Mir, Odella, and Roswin, you have made it up to the conversation that's happening. And I'll say you can pretty much pick up everything that's happening. You kind of see it now, and kind of based on the proximity of where everybody is and the body language, you guys can kind of figure out what's going on.
I'm going to run up and cast Cure Wounds on the horse.
Go ahead. Which one? The one on the ground?
Yeah, the
I assume.
one.
Okay. So go ahead. So 7, yeah, you heal the horse for 7 points. It looks, the bruises from the club beats, most of the kind of sores heal up, and you see, the horse seems significantly better. Like, yeah, it looks way, way better. Like it probably at this point would probably still need to be walked. Like, it shouldn't be doing any like heavy lifting at the moment. But the horse can walk on it of its own accord at the moment.
Okay. I'm just gonna look at Lux like, what the friggity frack?
Yeah. She will glance at you and you see the gold flickering back and forth.
I'm actually gonna bypass and I'm gonna go find Sylvester. Right? He's the head of the caravan.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to know him real well.
Apparently.
Know that there's a dude that's holding up the caravan because he's mistreating his animals once I get there.
Okay. Alright, so you will walk...
They're not gonna be cool with that.
I'm gonna say you walk past, so you see all this shit, or wait, was he ahead of it? I forget. So you actually, Sylvester's on the way. Because he's, what is that, number 10, and this is cart 7. Is Virgil here? So you actually get to Sylvester. He would get to Sylvester first.
Okay, well then I will just let him know that there's some kind of commotion because I don't think I can see what's happening at this point.
Gotcha. All right.
That kind of changes things because I wouldn't be able to tell him beforehand.
Okay, so he'll be like, wow, alright, you seem pretty capable. You wanna take a crack at this?
God, this guy's worthless. He wants to, wait, he's saying that to me, right?
Yeah, he's asking if you took care of everything last time by yourself completely, pretty much.
Okay, then I'll reply, with your permission.
He goes, yeah, just, if they gotta go to jail, just bring them here. And you see in the back of his cart now has slightly been repurposed, and there are basically cages in the back, and in which you see Archie and, whatever the hell I made the other guy's name. Not Reginald.
Archie and the other.
Well, not Reginald, the other guy.
Yeah.
He's I don't remember what his name was, but he's bound and gagged.
The one with no hamstrings.
What?
The one with no hamstrings.
Yes, the one with no hamstrings. He is hamstringless, but also bound and gagged because he had magic. So they are basically... Sylvester's cart has now turned into the roving jail, basically. So,
Okay.
I
Well,
guess.
as long as he's okay with me taking over, then I'm gonna continue.
in this instance, we basically let you know that, like, this isn't an always thing. He's kind of evaluating you, but this is, like, you got this, he thinks.
Okay.
We'll
I
see.
just want to proceed with his permission.
Mhm.
Because I'm not here to start trouble, so...
Sure. Okay. Yeah, so you make your way to to this scene that you see unfolding. Rosalind kneeling down, healing this broken horse, kind of petting it and calming it as Lux is loosening the straps and kind of calming the other horse. So,
Rosalind will stand up and walk over and introduce herself and get his name and be like, "So, Mr. Virgil, my name is Rosalind. I'm a druid, and I see here that you're having some trouble with your horses, and I feel like the issue here is that you're not sure how to handle horses, which is fine because I'm sure you're an astute businessman, and I don't know anything about that. You can ask anybody. But I think that with the proper training and with some assistance, we would be able to get you to where you need to go. Your horses would be able to work harder because they're being properly taken care of, and everybody could be happy here. But that'll just take some instruction, and I'm more than happy to help you with that. But you can't put an animal down just because they're being overworked. We've all had our own days where we're being overworked, and it's terrible. And all you want to do is take a rest. In this situation, there isn't an option for a rest, but we can at least soothe their wounds and get everybody to where they need to go without having to harm anybody.
Make me a persuasion check.
Guidance for what?
Sure, yep, that's fine.
Oh, okay. 4. Shit.
I'll roll it. We'll see what happens, because I'm going to guess that chances are 7. Probably not good enough. Let's see. Oh, he's got a +4. Here we go. Let's see.
That one.
Ooh.
I tried so hard.
You super did. So he says, "Well, why, Miss Roswin, I appreciate your tender approach. These mere useless nags, I feel, require some more of a strong hand. Or perhaps if I were to purchase your horses, ones that are clearly..."
Don't touch Poppy. She's not yours. I take very good care of her, both her physical and emotional needs, sir.
Well, well, I just feel like your horses seem to just be that much stronger than these old, tired, ones. Perhaps you both, and he looks to Lux and you, Roswin, he says, you seem to have taken quite a liking to these. I'd gladly trade them for your horses, which I feel would be more than ready.
Our horses are strong because we treat them well and give them the respect they deserve for the hard work they put in every day. You said that you got your horses in that city we started out in. We got ours before that, and they're still stronger. And it has nothing to do with where we procured them. It's because every day we give them the attention that they need.
Man. Get it, Roswin.
I think that's a drink.
Yeah, that is. It is. Roswin being assertive. That is a drink. Okay. I'll say, because of the way things are going, I will give you another persuasion check, and Lux, I'll let you make an intimidation check.
Guidance. Actually, I'll give guidance. You have a plus to your intimidation, so I'll give guidance to Lux for that.
Okay. 11.
Damn it.
Hang on. I gotta see if this will let me do, like, my homebrew thing to this or not.
Yeah, because I thought you had something.
Yeah, it's strength, not charisma.
Okay.
So I just gotta see. Let me see if I can edit it real quick. But anyway, so that was, you rolled a 10, I believe. Oops.
Me?
I think what you just rolled was a 10. Like, you rolled a 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Plus,
And
you got guidance on you.
Yeah, what was the guidance for?
Is it D4?
Yeah. 2. Yeah, your intimidation should be 3. 11, 13, plus 3 is 16. So that's what it should be, 16. Let me just see real quick if I can swap it in intimidation. Can I change it? No, but I can add a plus 3 to it, so we'll just do that. Because that'll make your intimidation a 4, which is what it should be. Okay, so that works. So 16. Okay. It seems to Roswin, your persuasion, while you in your head feel like you were being very persuasive and assertive, which is not a thing you do very often. You feel pretty. He kind of like doesn't seem to take too much to that. Although you do feel your sunflower like patting your shoulder, like in a, and like rubbing your back, sort of in like an affectionate way, like you did a good job, buddy, kind of a situation. And Lux, he doesn't seem like wholly convinced by you, but you have shaken him clearly with just your kind of passive standing there. Like, your presence has kind of, it seems to have unsettled him a little bit. He does still seem, like he may not listen, but he seems more open to it, I guess I should say. And Odella, I'll say you're here, by the way, by this point.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, sorry, that was my bad. I forgot to say that.
Oh, no. Have I heard him trying to, like, make offers for other people's horses?
I'll say yeah, sure.
Okay. I'm gonna go up and be like, do you really think that you're going to do better with other horses from the caravan?
Of course.
Are you going to treat these horses correctly, the way that these two women tell you to treat them? And I'll point to Roswin and Lux.
He looks back to the knight and the kind of wizard in his card, and he goes, "Did the two of you hear what those lovely ladies said was the proper way to treat horses?" And they'll both kind of like nod, and he goes, "Well, they heard. I'll just have them do it."
Will one of them be driving the cart instead of whipping these horses?
And he goes, "Yeah, if this is going to prevent any slow-ups in the future, I'll gladly lounge in the back of my wagon and let them do all the work."
Okay, then. I will trade you the horses from one of my carts for these horses if you continue to treat them properly. If you continue to treat them properly the way these two women have told you.
And he kind of like looks to his like knight, and he's like to his knight and his wizard. So, and he says, "That's fine. It'll be handled. I appreciate your willingness to do business. You are clearly a woman worth who understands business and clearly, I guess, animal husbandry."
I understand business, but I want you to know that if you mistreat these horses that I'm trading you, that you will no longer find yourself a free person.
Make me an intimidation check.
I smirk right behind her.
I'll give you advantage because Lux is helping in this, I'll say.
Good.
15, and you had guidance too, you said?
Mm-hmm.
How much is was it just a D4, right? 2. 17? Just what the hell, right? Yeah. It seems you get the feeling that, yeah, the possibly approaching it from a business standpoint in the way you approached it, someone who's clearly a daddy's boy and is a rich noble doesn't fear, this, but, incarceration may not be his thing. I mean, he probably could pay to get his way out of it, but you get the point. Right. That was the right button to push. And yeah, he says, well, yes, that's fair. I will gladly take this exchange of horses, and we can be on our way.
Then I'll go unhitch some of the horses from Archie's cart.
Alright, yeah.
And trade them with these horses. And then with the new horses, I'll twin Cure Wounds on both of them to heal them up a little bit more. And make sure that everything's nice and they're comfortable, and I'll treat them nicely.
Okay, so go ahead and make me your twin Cure Wounds. Yeah, good. They seem to pretty much be, they still, they're pulling a cart full of furs with no one really watching it, so, no one heavy in it, so it should be fine. But for the most part, yeah, they seem to be ready, pretty much, back to as close to 100% as you can gather.
Cool.
So, yeah,
I'll make sure, before we continue on, I'll be like, we'll be watching you, and kind of, do the eye thing.
Yeah, got it. Alright. Yeah, okay. So that happens. Yeah, so that was a thing. You guys, as the evening, comes to a close on the 5th day, I will say you, per character. Yeah, so you each get 300 experience for that. So, you can mark that down on your character sheets for completing that little event. Did you guys have anything that you wanted to do today? Or this evening, I should say.
At dinner time, Rosman will go find the 2 guards and give them all the 411 on how to properly take care of a horse, and bring Poppy with her and cast Speak with Animals to make sure that she has some input on what's the best way to go about it. And then before bed, give those 2 horses kisses right on their foreheads, and then go to bed.
Okay. Yeah, so you feel like you have given these guys more information than they could possibly ever need, but it's you guys see Roswin is in full mom mode, telling these guys you need this, that, and it's hands on hips telling these guys you need to do this, and it's like a 2-hour conversation she has with these guys on proper horse care.
Also,
I try to catch Roswin's eye and be like, oh shit, I have 5 horses to take care of. Can you help me?
I'd love to. And also, before I go to bed, I just kind of I keep an eye out till bedtime, and I see where Myrrh goes to bed.
Ah, okay.
And I'm like...
Did anybody else have anything that they wanted to do this evening?
I stay awake for just a little bit.
Okay.
And
Anything?
I slink into Odella's tent. And I instantly need her as I fall asleep.
Oh my god, it's like my cat's there.
Alright, Lux, were you doing anything specific?
I was just gonna go a little bit of ways out and just kind of almost do my own little meditation kind of thing. Just focus myself.
Sure.
And then eventually I'll come back and just go to sleep.
Okay. Fair. So you guys do that. And then what was your... just to reiterate, maybe it'll change every day, but the plan was you guys were kind of doing your own thing for meals, for dinner time, evening rest, or what was how did you guys work that? Just so I have an idea.
I think if we catch each other's eye, then we kind of meet up. Is that right, from what I remember? but we're trying to keep a low profile. Even though at night you see Rosman looking longingly over, thinking about bath time and pie.
Mm. All right.
Through the caravan for anybody who might know mending.
Mending?
Just
Okay.
casually.
Okay, so do you start at any particular end of the caravan? Because this will help me. I mean, you're in the back of the caravan, so if you want to work your way up, that just makes it easy, and I'll just...
Yeah, that's probably what you do.
Why don't we just say that, like, you'll check out a different cart a night, so that way we can... So, basically...
Yeah, just basically kind of... What I'm not really, like, explicitly, like, going up to people and being like, do you know mending or whatever? I'm just gonna, like, chit-chat with them, kind of find out what their trade is, what their name is, and, like... Then kind of casually work in, like, hey, do you know any spells? Can you do this?
Okay. So we'll say that this is the first night that you do that to keep it consistent. So you're in the back with Nathan, Reginald, who is, at night you see him longingly looking at the stars. He seems to be sad and heartbroken, given, that he thought he knew he had a lover and things are not the way they seemed. Directly in front is Lai Angiston. This is the male dwarf who Lux travels with, who, like, we'll say on one of the previous nights you went to talk to him, and then, like, you had to make up an excuse to get out of there because he just will not shut up about how much money he's going to make selling these perfumes and cooking oils when he arrives in Waterdeep. And then, we'll say tonight, you make it to the third caravan. And this caravan is a covered, like, it's not an open-backed cart. It is very closed tight. And even, like, the front where the rider sits, like, there's an overhang. So rather than, like, your traditional kind of Manifest Destiny Little House on the Prairie covered wagon where you sit out front and you're in the, like, this kind of the cart kind of covers up over the front. And you can see kind of, like, set back a little bit, kind of just, like, hanging out, arms crossed there underneath the tent is make me a perception check. A feminine form. You can see there's some kind of feminine lines to the silhouette of this creature in a robe, in a set of robes, with a hood up. And as you approach, you see the eyes sort of kind of glow in the dark. And one eye is gold and the other eye is silver.
Which card is this?
This is the third one from the back. So this is cart... Well, this was the third one from the back till you moved everything. So let me see which number it is.
I'm like, wait.
This would be cart 3 at this point. So that's the one right in front of Lux.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just taking notes.
That's fine.
Okay, I'll approach and see if they're, like, trying to stave me off, or if I am welcome to approach.
No, the feminine figure doesn't seem to stave you off at all. It just kind of looks to you and seems like a little reserved, as it were. And, you just walked... Did you say anything? You just kind of just walked up there, so...
I'll just be like, hello, just kind of meeting the neighbors.
And you hear a feminine voice and just say, hello, nice to meet you, as well. I didn't catch your name.
My name's Odella.
And she says, oh, that's, nice to meet you. And, she says, I'm Farida.
How do you spell that? I'm not asking her that, but I'm just wondering.
Sure. Farideh.
That is not what I thought, so I'm glad I asked. Frida, that's a very pretty name.
Make me a history check. It is a very pretty name.
Is that common where you're from, or?
And she kind of chuckles to herself. She says, well, in a manner of speaking, she goes, well, it's typically a dragonborn name. My father gave it to me.
Curious. So, why are you traveling to Waterdeep?
She says, I'm trying to find my sister and my father. We got separated a while back.
Uh-oh, that sounds terrible. Is there... I feel like this is forward, but maybe I've seen them. I don't know. Maybe I could help. What do they look like?
She says, well, my father is, he's about 7 feet tall, copperish scaled, dragonborn, wields a large falchion, sometimes lightning breath. And then she kind of like looks around, and the hood kind of shakes like a little bit as she's looking around. And she goes, and well, my sister, she sort of looks like me, and she kind of like takes down her hood, and what you see staring back at you is a red-skinned tiefling woman with kind of like devil horns, one gold eye, one silver eye, long black hair. And she goes, well, my sister looks like me except purple skin, and she has, what was it, I think just brown eyes. She doesn't think. I'm trying to remember what I wrote, so let's say brown eyes. She wields a glaive. She's never without it, so that might help.
Okay. So, from what I'm gathering, her father is a dragonborn, and both her and her sister are...
Yeah.
Are they like tieflings with like kind of a look of a dragonborn at all, or?
No, she looks like every tiefling you've ever seen. I don't know how many that is, other than Roswin. So yeah, she looks like a, and I guess she would have also told you that it's her twin sister.
Okay. She's kind of, Odell's kind of like pulling a little bit closer, curious, and like, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm being forward again, but are you adopted?
And she kind of like, her eyes kind of like flare up a little bit, like, who the fuck is this chick who's just like, I just met her and she's like, tell me your entire fucking life story. Damn, dude.
Totally forgot about everything she was meaning to do, but now she's
she goes, I guess I'll tell. Yeah, we were left in a basket, and it's our adoptive father took care of us and raised us. Yeah, so we are adopted.
I'm sorry. That was rude of me. I'm also adopted. It was just, I was curious. I thought maybe dragonborns with, other things made normal-looking tieflings. I don't know. I'm sorry. It was very... Let's start over. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Have you met many other tieflings? Just curious.
She says, I've met a few. It's well, where I'm from, it was a very touchy subject being a tiefling. There was a ritualist in the village, but she sawed it and ground her horns off and cut off her tail because she didn't want to be noticed as a tiefling. I've met several others of varying shapes and sizes, but I find it's often easier to just cover up who I am.
You know, you're not the first tiefling who's told me that. Do you have any questions for me? I feel like I'm asking you a lot of questions. I'm probably coming off as a little weird. I'm curious. I can't help it.
Well, you did come and ask me all about my family and why I'm traveling, so I guess I should ask you, where are you going? Why are you traveling to Waterdeep?
Good question. So I'm traveling to Waterdeep because, honestly, I just needed to get to Waterdeep, and I figured this would be a good
I
way
just needed to get there.
I have a little bit of business in Waterdeep. Nothing too exciting. Just meeting some friends up there, so.
Anybody I might know?
Do you know his name is Steve Frankenfurt? He's a halfling. He's got like short brown hair. Ringing a bell?
No, can't say that I do.
Oh well, I mean, I guess you can't know everybody. So, what do you do other than travel in caravan?
Oh my god!
Lord have mercy.
Seriously, dude.
All day. I have not, and I'm like burning alive right now. So.
She's like, well, I try and do good. That's a thing that I try and do, and combat against the perceptions of my race by helping other folks, protect the... I mean, I've seen my fair share of battle. I was a mercenary for a little while. And now like I said, I'm trying to get reunited with my family. We got separated during a big fight in Neverwinter a little while back.
Well, if I see them, I will let you know right away. And I'm just gonna leave because I'm like, seriously, I don't know how to conversate.
Remember
right
when you were going to ask somebody about mending and then you didn't?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to do conversation, so I'm just gonna stop. And I'm gonna go find Roswin and be like, listen, there's a tiefling back there. She seems pretty cool. You should go talk to her.
Oh, okay. I'm really good at conversing too. Okay. She just pats her little turban thing she's got going on. Do I look okay? Do I need to look okay? Okay. Alright. I'm going.
Alright, so we've made it to the third caravan out of 20 here. So this is gonna be a long trip.
Yep.
And she's marching the whole way with purpose.
Right, and then just doesn't get anywhere because she forgets why she's there. So is that what you were gonna do, Rosalind? You were gonna go talk to...
I guess so. Tella told me that I should, and I don't know shit. I'm like, right, people. That's the thing. We talk to each other. Let's go. Not a horse, but if I just talk to her like she's a horse, then maybe this could be a nice conversation.
Okay, so you make your way to the third caravan.
As I pass everybody, I like give them looks. I'm like, so nuts.
Yeah, is that truly Roswin?
Yeah, she's like, hey, because she's trying to be, she's like a spy right now, so she's trying to be cool, you know? So,
Mm-hmm.
I know you know.
Yeah, so you make it there, and you see there she is again. There's a hooded figure in the cart.
Hello!
And you see her just like... it's hard to tell with a hood up and no face, but like, the shaking of the head is like, what did I do? Like, why? Like, what is... Hello?
I was gonna be like, hello, my name is Roswin. I just came to talk to you because you seem like we might have something in common, and also somebody told me to, and to be honest, I'm not really good at conversing, so I'm just gonna put my hand out there to shake your hand, and I'm a tiefling. But I'm not gonna tell anybody that you're a tiefling because, girl, I know.
And you just see like her hand come up, and then like as it's starting to go to like shake your hand, it just is like...
She's like, she has her hand out, she's like...
And then she'll like put it out, and you see again a red hand, a red skinned hand reaches out to shake your hand. And she says, wow, and she'll like take her hood down, and you see she's got like these fancy cobalt blue robes. It's got like kind of gold inlay and a golden hood, and she flips the hood down. And then again, you see the red skin, the silver eye, and the gold eye, and her horns, rather than like Maleficent style horns, kind of that you've got, they're kind of like back like that, I guess.
Yeah. She is like, wow, I really like your horn shape. It's really cool. Mine are just kind of like, they're just like this whole thing that I've got going on in my head. It's just like the whole thing back. So
yeah.
God, I don't care that you're a tiefling, to be honest with you. We're both tieflings, and that's whatever. I think that we both know it sucks, but it is what it is, and we are who we are, and it really has nothing to do with being a tiefling other than the fact that we've seen the scorn of others for no reason other than what we look like. So that's bullshit. Oh. She goes like this. She's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to use foul language. But I just wanted to say hello and let you know that I'm here if you ever need a shoulder or anything like that. We don't know anything about each other, and this is really weird, and I'm serious. I was just told to come say hi to you. I don't know why. It's like, just because we're the same race. But
I mean, I feel like that's kind of racist in a weird way, right? Like,
I know, it's a little bit racist.
Like, you guys should go be friends because you're both tieflings. I feel like that's kind of, I don't know.
I know. I've had like a million friends, and none of them have ever been tieflings, and I didn't even think about that until this moment, but whatever. That's life. Do you want some... Do you have any, like, food that you're making? I got this really cool spoon, and it makes extra food, and if you want some company, we can just chit-chat and get to know each other, I guess.
I'll say, sure, she's making, like, a stew, I guess, and we'll say, for this instance, she doesn't have any meat, so it's a vegetarian stew for this one time. Because otherwise it wouldn't work with
Are you a vegetarian too? Oh my gosh.
She's like, no, I just don't have any meat.
No, well, I don't eat meat, so it worked out for me. But if you want some meat, I got this ration that I've never eaten, but it's pretty old, so I probably wouldn't eat it. I mostly just give it to my owl. But anyway, so
yeah,
she just talks to her and tells her Roswin story. Is like, I talked to my friggin' plant, and he's a guy named Floyd. By the way, this is Floyd, and introduce him, and just kind of trade silly stories and keep the mood upbeat for a super long journey, basically.
Gotcha. Do you ask any like probing like deeply personal probing questions for someone you just met? Is that a thing you do? Or are you just like a normal civilized adult? Yeah.
Yeah, Roswin's always just like, she might accidentally just be like, oh, I just had this thought, by the way, blah, 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 blah. But then she's just like, but, don't worry about it. Tell me whatever you want to tell me. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, she's a little closed, reasonably so, because she doesn't know you, and,
Yeah.
But she seems to respect the fact that you weren't just like, hey, you adopted? So...
Yeah, and then...
Did you have parents, or were you an orphan? Can you tell me these things?
No, she just talks to her about, like, the journey and everything like that, and is like, hey, forever running low on food. I got this spoon, unlimited uses, it's super great. And before she leaves, she'll just druid craft her, like, a cute little flower crown thing, and just be like, alright, bye. If you need any help with your horses, let me know. They're really pretty.
When you cast your magic, you see that she seems interested in your magic, and then just, like, is like, and doesn't say anything.
Just what?
She, like, seems, like, interested, like, she wants to talk about, like, you cast a spell, and she like, kind of perks up to it, and then, like, kind of just, like, calms down a little bit.
Seeing that, she'd be like, oh, have you ever met a druid before? I can make a bunch of flowers, like, so many flowers, and I could talk to your horse if you want to see, like, how they're feeling, or anything like that. Do you practice magic?
She kind of looks at you, and, there's clearly a reservation there, and she says, it's complicated.
I understand complicated. Totally. But I think that magic's beautiful as long as it's used to help everybody. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
Well, I hope that you have a good night, and if you want to chat, I'm over there up front with the wood carvers. I think I'm like the third rank.
Alright, well, thank you.
Okay, well, you have a lovely night. And I'm just gonna pretend like I got her name during that portion.
Yeah, Farida, you got it.
Yeah, and she'll just kind of be like, okay. And then as she passes Mer, she'll be like, you going over to Odella's again?
And she just looks at her and she's like...
Are you
Yes,
guys in love?
ma'am.
Have you known each other before then? Because you just, like, showed up. You just were, like, you were there 1 second and not there the second before. And then you guys are cuddling, and it was so cute. And I'm so happy for you guys.
Looking at her and she, like, doesn't get it at all. She's like, I need to sleep somewhere.
Oh,
It's cold
so
out there.
it's like an open thing. I've heard about that. She's like, I don't get it, but love's love. You do you. And I'm just gonna go back to my tent. Come on, Floyd.
Kelly Floyd?
Helly Floyd.
Floyd.
Yeah.
Floyd! Mr. Floyd. His name is Mr. Floyd. And we're gonna go back to our tent awkwardly.
Oh, you know what I should have said, which I didn't say before, to Odella. Actually, not to Odella, but to Roswin, because you saw her put her hand up to, like, cover her face and then reach out.
Mm-hmm.
When her sleeve slid back, you saw, like dark black kind of, like, tattoos, maybe scarification, all up, like, the length of her arm. Farida, I should say.
Did it look like painful?
Hard to tell. It doesn't look... It's not, like, fresh. Like...
Oh, okay.
It's
so
like...
It looks like a weird tattoo.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. I'm down with ink.
Alright. So... is there anything that anybody else would like to do tonight? Awkwardly inquire about anybody else's backstory or things like that?
That was totally in character.
I'm not. I don't blame. I just the means in which you approached it were just perfect for that 20 charisma, really pretty lady.
She rides out on her good looks.
Yeah, I'm like, she's just really pretty. Doesn't mean that she's like super smooth.
And Roswin still thinks that Myrrh and Odella are like totally banging.
Mira like still doesn't really get the shit what you're talking about. like doesn't understand the implication that she's like in love with Odella.
And Lux, you did your meditation thing and then
People
came back.
need to sleep together. It's necessary.
It's cold.
Yeah. This is what happens, folks. D&D. 2 hour.
Weapons is also necessary when you're going to bed.
So, nothing else was happening for this evening?
I mean, every night Roswin is sending Boba to go watch.
The Cult of the Dragon.
And yeah, I'm just telling him, did you pick up any weird words or anything like that? And like Roswin, like, it's not like obvious, but since she's so close to up front, she'll like, she's watching them but not making it obvious. She's just traveling on her horse and trying to see if she sees any like people that she's looking for throughout the days, or that what was it, a big like wagon that disappeared, like a fancy wagon or something that they saw in the city and then it wasn't there.
Oh yeah, it was like a palanquin, so one of those things but that's not here. You don't see that anywhere.
Okay, but yeah, just looking for anything that's weird, but just like pretending like she's just dazing off, staring straight forward on her journey.
Okay, so we'll deal with that. And so nothing else tonight. So Roswin, as you go to sleep this evening, you are plagued by a strange dream.
Not again!
In this dream, you are traveling through the mountains, which you figure that's probably not unreasonable. You saw mountains not too far, like you're heading towards mountains. Like that's where you're on your trek currently. And you kind of see these mountains. You're kind of like laying down, you're asleep, and you open your eyes and you can kind of see the mountains off in the distance. And then slowly you see a humanoid dark shadow begin to appear from behind you, kind of casting shade over your body, so it kind of starts to block out some of the light. And as you turn around to look at what this is, in your face is just this terrifying, like sharp-toothed, like demon-eyed, like stag head, just like, and you wake up.
Well, I will tell them about my weird dreams next time I talk to them.
So that was what happened that evening when you went to sleep. So, it is now the next day. You guys are on your way, kind of heading into the mountains. And you guys are walking along, and you see kind of as you're starting to crest into the mountain pass, you see far up, kind of out of your vision, what basically looks like two birds. You basically looks like eagles. It's hard to tell because they're way up there, but two kind of eagles circling around. And I'm gonna need everyone. Yeah, let's say. Yeah, everybody make me a nature check.
Guidance. Fuck.
Alright, so you guys are just like, no big deal. You guys are riding along like, we're going through the mountains. There's eagles in the mountains. No big deal. When, as you're riding along, not paying any attention, you see these eagles start to circle down closer, and let me check a thing real quick, because I don't have my monster manual in front of me.
be about to fight, that means.
What? No, not at all. Okay, well, it doesn't matter because they're not there. So, basically, let's try on my phone, because this is what happens when you don't get your monster manual out in front of you. Poor planning, folks, on my part. Spent too much time focusing on the people in the caravans, because I knew these girls. I knew that was going to be probably the most important part. So, as these circle down closer and closer, they get to kind of within, like, they're like 30 feet over your guys' head. And again, you're like, oh, eagles, no big deal. And then they rocket off full speed down at you guys. And I'm going to need everybody to roll for initiative. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait.
Oh, yeah.
So fast.
I had to click on...
Oh, faster than Odella.
You get some battle music going. I'll say that that's good music.
I didn't mean to do that, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I forgot that you're on a sheet that has tokens, so I could have just done that. But, oh, it already added them in. Perfect.
Yeah, I forgot to select my token first.
You know what, Lizzie? Can I just have you select your
Do it
token
again.
there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Della's is a 3. Roswin's is Della's is a 5 rather. Right? Yeah.
It's a 5.
Sure.
You're like,
Did
I'm
you?
gonna get that
Can
five.
you just make sure you have your? Because it looks like you didn't have your token selected again, Lizzie. Just make sure you click on the mirror token and then click initiative. That should do it, I think.
What's the weather like right now? Just for my
Perfect.
knowledge.
It is overcast, not stormy though, for the purposes of call lightning. You get the feeling that there's a storm a coming. Okay, Lux, you have a crit, by the way, from Mud Puppy. Keep that. Make sure you have that.
Ooh.
Remember, to use the crit, you have to do it before you roll. So, like, you can't roll and be like, I rolled like shit, I'm gonna use a crit. It's just before you roll. So, and then let's roll for these guys, because okay, they got a 6, a 7, so let's call them bad guys.
Are they? What do they look like when they're closer?
I
They
will
dove down.
I will tell you, but unfortunately, everybody but Mir is surprised because you just thought they were eagles. Mir, you saw what these guys were. Let's see, I don't think I have a picture because they don't have them here in the OGL here, but basically what you see diving down full speed at you guys is a creature that has a large head of a stag with sharp teeth on the body of a giant eagle. It looks like, let's see if I can,
Like my dream.
That's really hard to notice. I understand why.
I don't know if that'll
Okay.
come into frame or not, or like focus. There we go. So you can see that kind of creepy looking. And as they fly in full speed, diving down towards randomly determined people that I haven't had a chance to come up with yet. Actually, I have them. I just don't know who they're going to attack. Mir, you see this, and you recognize that these are clearly not eagles. These are some sort of crazy, weird-looking monstrosity right there. And you actually get to go before they do, because you notice this. What would you like to do?
Well, first I wanna like whistle so everyone like looks at me and they see like what's happening.
Sure.
Tell them to beware. Is it like how close is it to me?
30 feet. It's like dive bombing
In
in.
the air.
Yeah, it's coming in. It's like there's two of them, and they are like dive bombing into the caravan. Like if the caravan's in a line, they're like coming in, and they're about 30 feet out when you see that they're not eagles, and you have the chance to do something.
Okay. I want to pull out my short bow and attack with it.
Okay, so go ahead and make a shot with your short bow against one of these guys. Yeah, a 23 will definitely hit. They, unfortunately, though, you do not have sneak attack on this because it's just in the air, and you know, you don't qualify for the sneak attack on it. So go ahead and make your just regular attack roll. Or damage roll, rather, sorry.
Oh, okay.
6 points. So, wow, math.
It's hard sometimes.
It seriously is. I'm like, why is this so difficult for me right now? Okay, yeah, so you see it kind of hits the one creature and it like falters a little bit, but it's still moving in. Did you want to do anything as your bonus action?
Can I, like, are they moving in fast enough that I could do like a melee?
No, they're still too far out for you, and you wouldn't be able to do that. So basically, you have whatever you can normally do with your bonus action: dash, disengage, hide, that kind of thing.
Okay. I would like to
You just
disengage.
You don't have to, they're too far out, so you can just move. You don't have to disengage.
Oh, okay. Then just like dash.
Okay, where would you like to go? Like towards one of your friends, or what's the plan?
I want to go towards Lux.
Okay. Alright, so you'll be able to get there. You're super fast. So you make it back to where Lux is. So Lux, you get there. You see Mir run up to you, but it all happens so fast. You don't have a chance to do anything. Roswin, you're also surprised. Bad guys. So I'm just gonna roll a d20 and pick a cart, and they're gonna attack that. So cart number 3, which is Virgil's cart. So there's that, and cart number 2, which is Lux's cart. Wow, how perfect is that? So you see...
3 should be Farida's cart.
Oh, you're right, it is Farida's cart. My bad. Farida's cart
No.
and
our
Lux's
new
cart.
friend.
So, you know what? Let me make a real quick nature check for Farida. 12. Shit, I should have... This is what I get for not having full characters prepped for... full sheets for everybody in the caravan. So I'll deal with that one last. Let's go with Lux. So this guy flies in, and he is going to make an attack against Odella... Or not Odella, I'm sorry. Attacks against Mir and attack against Lux. So he's going to reach out with his talons to claw at you, Lux.
I'm gonna do a reaction. And I'm gonna enter a rage.
You could if you weren't surprised, because you can't take a reaction on a surprise. But it doesn't matter, he gets an 8. So he's like, and you're like, oh shit, and he's like, as you say, like, oh shit to this guy, it's like, oh, whoop, and it moves out of the way, and it just totally misses. But then it kind of turns its body, and it angles its, like, its stag horns to try to, like, gore you, Mir, with a fucking 10. So it's just like, blah! And it makes a weird noise like that, and then it flies away. And normally, you would know you could get an opportunity attack against it, but you don't. Against these creatures, it flies away. And, as almost as if it had a flyby attack.
Almost.
And let's see. Do they get any other... okay, it didn't hit. So that's that. It's going to fly in. The other one's going to fly in and try to hit Farida. Woo! That's not good. Let's see. And then its second attack. is a 6. And then Farida... Oh, I had her make a nature check. I rolled a 12. And then... Let's see, maybe she wasn't surprised. I'll roll for her initiative, too. 12, so she would have gotten to go first. Her nature is a 2. So it's a 14. Nope, so she fails. So it comes in and it hits her. And it's going to do... With its gore attack... D8, 3d8, because it moved 20 or 30 feet in first. So 3d8 plus 3 to Farida.
Girl.
17 points. She's alright. She seems to be doing okay. Yeah. So, when I say 17... It got the drop on her. She just, like, basically heard the whistle that Mir made and, like, came out of her tent and then just get messed up by this guy. Alright. And then that is its turn. And then it also flies away, provoking no attacks of opportunity. It is now... They're 30 feet up above, circling. Odella, it is your turn. You don't get to go, because it's a surprise round. And then, Mir, it's back to you. It is now your turn. These things are 30 feet up.
Okay. Are there any, like, trees around?
You are in the mountains right now, so you're unfortunately not near any trees.
Is there higher ground that's, like, kind of steep?
Well, let me ask you, what are you trying to do, I guess, I should say? Like, what's your plan?
Higher ground so I could running jump onto them and take them out of the air.
I see. Make me a percentile roll. It sounds cool if you get a percentile roll. So it's a D100 or the percent if you have that as one of your macros or not. I don't know. So it's roll D100.
Yes.
Go ahead and
I always do the slash the wrong way.
Yeah. So let's see how that comes up.
Oh, okay.
So the other slash and space between the roll and the 1D100.
Oh. Okay.
That is impressive, folks. A 4 on a D100. So in this instance, then, no, there isn't any place for you to get to higher ground. So what would you like to do?
Okay. Well, I will attack with my bow again.
Okay. You also, the other alternative was B, you could hold your action until they get closer if you wanted to do that.
Oh, no, I'll still...
Okay, so go ahead and make me
initiate.
Make me a short bow attack. 23 will hit, definitely, so go ahead. Same one from last time? 11 points, yeah. So you hit this guy with an arrow, and he's got 2 kind of in his wing, and he's kind of like flopping a little bit. He's still keeping up in the air, but it looks to be significantly hurt. Anything for your bonus action?
No.
Okay. Actually, Lux, it's going to be you next because Farida has a lower dexterity than you.
Okay.
So, what would you like to do?
We're gonna go into a rage.
You're in a rage. You see, Mir, I guess you haven't seen this before. I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
So, as you see, kind of, Lux begins, you see heat start to roil off of her form, almost like asphalt on a hazy day, that kind of haze, as her body sort of like Iron Man 2 armor, like gold scales appear all over, covering all of her flesh. She's now covered in golden dragon scales, and this heat roiling does continue to go around her, and her eyes are like a bright, shining gold. And, Lux, what would you like to do?
I am going to, because they're 30 feet up in there, right?
Correct.
Yeah. I'm gonna hit it with my javelin.
Okay, so make me a javelin attack. You guess the same one that Mir shot, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Okay. A 10 will... maybe. 10, unfortunately, will miss. You throw the javelin at it.
So, and then an extra attack.
Yep, go ahead and make another one. 23 definitely will hit, so go ahead and roll the damage. 6 points of damage to this. Again, it's looking... now it's got 2 arrows and, like, a javelin hanging out of it, and it's like... "Rah!" And it's, like, trying to... it's, like, very... like a Fearow, like a 3D Fearow Pokemon, where its wings are, like, really fucking stupid looking, where it's trying to keep itself in the air. That's what it looks like, but it's keeping itself up. But it looks like it's clearly seen... some worse times. Anything else you'd like to do?
No,
Lex?
that's it.
Okay. So then it is now Farida's turn. And she's going to look up at the one that she saw. And you see from within, like, the sleeve of her robe, she pulls out this dark, metallic... rod and points it up at the one that was near her, and I should have read all of these things ahead of time. That's okay. And a blast of reddish colored energy blasts from the tip of the staff towards this creature. 1, 2, I think, maybe. Yeah, alright, so that is going to do plus, well, let's start with, yeah, I'll do that, plus as the blast kind of shoots out from the end of the wand, you see that it's really not 1, it's 3, and they all into this thing, and she just and this thing is just battered from these kind of reddish beams of energy that blast into it, and it looks it looks about as bad as the one that's got 2 arrows and a javelin sticking out of it, and it is looking pretty rough. And that's going to do it for her. Roswin, it is your turn.
Okay, how?
Making an Arcana... it's definitely not one that you can cast. You can make an Arcana check, I guess, if you'd like. Yeah, with a natural 20, it's Eldritch Blast is this spell. Something you know just specific to warlocks. Okay, Roswin.
How far away am I from them?
Just because I don't feel like doing the math. 30 feet!
Yay! Okay, are these, like, flying things directly over to them? Like, or are they, like, to the side a little?
We'll say they're directly over each of the caravans. Like, directly over Lux's and directly over Farida's.
Okay, fuck. Okay, then I will go ahead and, I don't really have anything other than... You know what? I'll do Produce Flame, because everything else I have is like a giant cylinder that will break everything underneath, so...
Okay, so go ahead.
Produce Flame.
Yeah, 16 will hit. Which one were you going for?
Whatever's closest to me.
For the one that Farida was hitting would be the closest one. So you reach out with your staff and you kind of conjure up the magic and throw the produced fireball, or the flame ball at it. But as you do that, you notice there is a... typically the energy around your staff is what color? Did it have a coloration?
It's usually just like a regular glow, like a white.
Just like a white light. There is a slight bluish tinge to the white light as you throw the flame. You see it kind of like looks like it's gonna miss, and the kind of glowing from the staff sort of redirects it, and then the fire hits this creature, and it actually catches on fire and like duck hunts like to the ground. Anything else you'd like to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna bonus action send 2d6 of Fey heals over to Frida.
Okay, so go ahead and roll me your 2d6. 10. Well, all right, almost got it all back. Okay, so now it is the remaining bad guy, and he's going to fly in. This guy is like, rah, rah, rah. Like he has been hit by you guys, hit by Lux and Mir pretty heavily, so it starts to like flap away. It's not going for you guys. You guys have literally riddled it full of holes, and it's going to fly down at, I guess, it's going to go for Odella, because you're kind of next to them, and you're less assuming and didn't blow up its friend. So it's going to fly in at you and make 2 attacks. A gore attack first for a 22.
It hits.
Okay, so that, because it dove down 30 feet first, is going to deal additional damage. It's going to deal 20 points of damage to you with its horns as it gores into you. And then it's going to, now that it's down there, it's going to make a second attack with its talons. For a 23. And that's going to do 8 points of damage. So 28
How
total.
you looking, boo?
And then it's going to fly up 30 feet again and not provoke an attack of opportunity. But it is now your turn.
My turn?
Yes.
I'm gonna cast Guiding Bolt at it, because why not?
Okay. Go ahead and make me an attack roll with Guiding Bolt. Yeah, 26 will definitely hit. Go ahead and roll damage. It probably isn't going to make it through this. But, yeah, no. I guess how do you want to do this with your Guiding Bolt to this creepy-looking creature? Nothing?
What?
I said, how did you want to do this to this creature?
Oh, sorry. I didn't hear anything that you said.
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
Oh,
I
well,
didn't either.
well, then never mind. But I'm still going to ask you that question, so.
Oh, as it it flies away, I'm just gonna angrily be like, just reach out and shoot it.
And
Because she
what-
doesn't have any cool moves or anything like that.
What did what did it look like, by the way? I forget your Guiding Bolt.
Oh, I think it was just
I don't remember, so it's just whatever you want it to be.
sparkly and white light.
Yeah,
I
so
don't
like,
think it's not like in the shape of anything or anything.
okay, so this is a sparkling beam of white light kind of hits the back of this creature as it's flying away, and it again incinerates and then drops to the ground dead. And yeah, that does it for, that is the wrong one. We gotta switch it up. So yeah, that just happened. What would you guys like to do?
Rosamund's
Yeah,
gonna run
nice.
around
Yeah.
and be like, "Is everyone okay?"
Mir is gonna go up to the carcass and inspect it.
Okay. Make me an investigation check. 9? Yeah, so you're rooting around, and you don't know what this creature is, because that, will say that you didn't look at it. So you've just been rooting around trying to figure out what this is. However, I'm going to need you to make me another percentile roll.
Okay. I got this.
Alright, let's see it. But any of your healing that you do, Odella does its thing. 84, okay. Let's see, you find... Oh my god, this is perfect. So, as you're rooting around in the corpse of this creature, you find a quill. Like, not it, and it's completely different than the quills, like the feathers on it. And it is a solid black quill with like a little button on the quill.
Like a feather?
Like a pen that you would be able to write with. But the tip of where like the ink would go looks different, and there is a button on the quill.
And do I know?
You don't. I mean, you can. There's one way to find out what it does.
Ow.
Push the button.
Oh, like a button.
Like
oh,
a-
I thought you meant like a button on your shirt.
No, the like if you had a quill, right? It has a button on it.
Well, I am a cat, and my fatal flaw is that I'm very curious, so I will push the freaking button. As
you push the button, you see emanating from the tip a slight glowing light, but what's more interesting to you is that on the ground is a tiny red dot. And you're like, what is that? And you see this red dot glowing on the ground. Just you. There's nobody around, but you push the button and there's a red beam, like a dot on the ground now.
I just start digging into the dirt.
Do you let go of the button on the quill when you go to dig?
I'm just looking for
As soon as you let go of the button, the dot is gone. Where did it go?
I just keep digging.
Yeah.
Be in there.
Okay. So, yeah, so you now basically have a quill that is, for all intents and purposes, a laser pointer. That you find on the body of this thing. Thanks to, Mud Puppy for the class trinket that you just bought.
Oh.
For... That was a random roll. That's just what came up.
That was perfect. Perfect roll.
Okay. So... what about you? Della, you were healing yourself? Things like that?
Yeah, I healed myself. I'm also gonna go check on Farida to see if she's okay.
Gotcha. Let's see. Oh, I forgot that these are... I will... as you're walking over to... I forgot that I had things rolled here automatically. As you are walking over... oh boy, that is weird. These are so strange. Let me see. I'm just trying to read what you're, So you, as you're walking over towards her, you, like, kicks, like, a stick. You're like, oh, that's weird. And as you look down and bend to pick up this stick, turns out that this is actually not a stick, it's a rod. It's a horned rod. You notice as you're holding it, like, it sparks a little bit, and there's, like, sparks of fire. And then you're like, that's weird. And you go to put it down, and it, like, sparks again, but it's, like, cold frost like chilled air, and you're like, also weird. And as you go to finally put it down, like it sparks and like green slime comes out of it.
Gross.
You find a horn rod that sometimes sparks with fire, frost, or green slime.
Put it back.
You definitely can. And Roswin, what were you doing?
I went over. I think the only person I really saw, because Odella's pretty far off, is Frida get hurt. So I'm gonna go over to her and cast Cure Wounds.
Okay. So you go, and you can go ahead and roll me your cure wounds. 12. Yeah, she's healed up to full, and she says, thank you. I appreciate it. That was quite strange.
Do you know I had a dream about those guys, but I just thought it was a weird dream. I'm gonna start telling people about these dreams like right away.
She says, yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. Dreams have power, some say.
Who says?
I mean, that's just a thing that people say. I don't say.
Oh, okay.
And she's like, huh. She's like, wait, do you see that? And if you have this one already, you'll have to let me know. She goes, huh. And she like reaches over, like she's like, I just hold on one sec. And she like reaches, like kind of like your head wrap is kind of like you can't see it because it's behind you. She like basically reaches and is like, what's this? And pulls something from your ear, like that very dad, like, and it's a crystal ball. And she goes, what is?
That.
Did you know about? And she hands it to you. And this is a crystal ball that will reveal tomorrow's weather.
Oh, just like Druidcraft.
Yeah, just
Well,
like
I
it.
don't care. I'm more. She's more so just like, wow, what? Where did that? What? Do you have You've got magic. I saw you blow some stuff up real bad there, and you can do that too. Wow.
And she's just like, yeah, apparently, I didn't, it was just kind of, I just saw it, I didn't do anything, it was just there.
Oh, so that wasn't.
I mean, yeah, no, I totally think it was me. I did it.
Wow. You're really impressive.
Oh, well,
And
thank
she
you.
just kind of like gives her like another like once over and was just like, but you're okay now, right?
Yeah, yes, I'm fine, thank you.
And she gives her a hug without permission and is like, okay, I'm really glad.
And she's like, and she like taps on the back as you walk away. Lux, as your rage settles, for the first time having done this as a reaction, which is a new thing for you, you kind of feel some of the slight differences in the way your rage has been altered. You kind of are stretching it out. Oh boy, that is so dumb. We're not going to give you that one because that's dumb. These are so. All right, I'm sorry. You just poor rolls. You know what? Go ahead, make me a percentile roll. I'll let you roll. If the roll's a 99, then it's meant to be. Okay, let's see if that's any better. These are so weird.
I don't want two badgers, just saying.
No, it's
Please
not.
have two badgers.
That was
All right.
like both of them.
So I'm looking at the ones that you have, and the ones that you rolled. So, fun fact, these are the ones because I looked at and I eliminated the ones you either have or that are just, they don't make any sense. So basically what we're looking at is an iron plate that you find that you use to slam your fists and sometimes your head in to toughen them up, to like punch and like headbutt it so that your fists and head are extra hardened and tough. Basically, you're a Klingon, and when you mourn a fallen companion, you howl to the dead, like a Klingon does, which is, maybe that's a thing you do. We haven't had any companions die, so that hasn't come up yet. And I can just ah whenever somebody dies to warn.
Ted, you knock on wood right now.
Fine. Or you've developed a taste for the same type of food your totem animal enjoys and carry around a small supply of it for snacks.
Better not eat gems.
I'll let you pick one of those three, because the other ones don't make any sense.
These I just face palmed all.
Yeah, I see that. Lots of face palms.
Every face.
Yeah, I'll whisper you the one.
Okay, fair enough. You get that one, whatever it is. And yeah, so you guys calm down. Roswin, did you... I'll say because... yeah, because you're the naturey one. Go ahead and make me a nature check. These are weird looking eagles.
Sure are. I'm still gonna try to harvest their body parts.
Okay, what are you gonna harvest? Because you don't know what's valuable.
Everything? Feathers, I guess? And antlers?
Okay. Make me a survival check.
Guidance, obviously.
Okay, obviously.
So 18.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to pluck out some feathers, and you managed to, let's say, salvage all 4 antlers.
Oh yeah. Can I know what they are for my, just for my inventory?
These are, Periton. I will, I typed it out in, Roll20.
Nice, and then, like, how many feathers? Like a bag full of feathers?
Bag full, like a pillow's worth.
Nice, okay.
So, you know what? I'll say, Mir, give me a nature check as well, because you actually were able to identify that they weren't eagles when they weren't eagles. So, you know that these are whatever that word is. Periton, something or other. Basically, they're weird, nasty creatures, but to reproduce, they need to eat on the freshly harvested heart of a killed humanoid. The organ must be consumed by a female Periton, and then she can reproduce and lay an egg.
They just wanted to start a family.
Yep. And they're known to live in mountains and high caves, sometimes wooded cabins and like roofs of like high houses and things in deep in the woods. Oh shit. Yeah, totally forgot that they are resistant to non-magical damage.
Too late.
It is too late. So basically, all those short bows and javelins.
They were having a bad day.
They were. He was having a bad day. So anyway, so yeah, you defeat those guys. And then you guys can move on your way so the evening will come to a close that night. Did you guys have anything you want to do before we take a short break? Very short.
I want to show Rodwin my laser pointer, but I still don't get it. Like, I don't know what it is, and I'm like totally freaked out and like upset and present it to her. Just be like, I don't understand. Like when it's there and it's not.
Well,
I catch it, but it's gone. I don't understand. Something lives in here and it's not okay. This is evil. Whatever this is.
Roswin very non-judgmentally is just kind of like about like the shape of the corridor that we went down in the very beginning with Phoenix is like, well, I think that it's some sort of light source based on my educated guess, and that when you release this button on the side of this quill, then it goes away. But it doesn't seem to be affecting anything, so I think that it doesn't do any damage to anything. It just makes that little red light.
Did you push it to find out that it does that?
Well, she showed her,
Okay.
right?
I don't know.
Yeah,
That's what I
sure.
thought she said.
Okay.
And
And she's
I'm just like not buying it. I'm like, no. it moves like a living thing. It's not. I know that it's not a light.
as long as you're not afraid of it. I mean, I think you should enjoy it. It's pretty cool. I've never seen anything like it before. And
I'm just like all twitchy and like messed up now.
Rosin's like, may I? And if she allows her to, she takes the quill and just kind of like, based on Mir's reaction, she just kind of wants to press the button and kind of like circle it around by her feet. And then kind of like off to the side. She just watches Mir. Like, what's she gonna do?
Goes insane. Goes insane, like flips over, like just totally like somersaults. Like zipping on the ground, just freaking out.
She's like trying not to laugh at you, but she's like, okay, well, this is yours, and gives it back to her. She's like, you just have fun. Just don't be scared of it or anything. It seems harmless.
It's like shaking her head, just like so exasperated, exhausted, mentally and physically.
Yeah, this has been a big day for
Can't
you.
cope with this thing.
Her husband just pats her on the shoulder. Well, you have a good night. Tell Odella I said good night too.
She's just like,
Alright.
Anybody else?
Before bed,
Oh, sorry.
Rosin will just go hang out with, what's her face?
Farida?
Farida. And just kind of talk with her more.
Gotcha. Okay. You share more stories about being tieflings and growing. Like, your situation's a little bit different because she kind of will reveal to you that was in like a very secluded town, like in a mountain that was very, like she lived in a very, very tiny, like mountain village, where she just trained to fight with her father. That was based. That's what and her sister.
Okay.
That's all she gives you.
Alright. Yeah, she's just gonna go talk to her every night because she likes her best out of everybody.
Okay. On this night, Odella, you go to the next what's it called? Caravan, rather. And they just like they don't want it. The people there are like, we don't want to talk to you. Like, they're very closed off. They don't want no conversation.
Okay, that's fine. What do they look like?
It is a, let's see, kind of driving the wagon is a woman. Yeah, just in traveling clothes, dark black hair, brown eyes, and like kind of riding as like a guard is another dude in traveling clothes, short, kind of like crew cut, clean shaven.
Both human?
Both human. Anything else? Anybody else want to do for this evening?
No, I'm just gonna make sure everybody's okay and then get them sleep.
Okay. So you guys will take a rest for the evening. You each get 525 experience for the Puritan little battle there.
calculator. How much?
525. And yeah. Okay. And then the 7th day, because it's been 6 days, the next day is just a rest day, where they're resting the animals. So it's been 6 days, now they're taking the day to rest the animals. Nothing. Well, we'll deal with that. We'll take just a short break and come back. And you guys should just hang around because we will be back pretty quickly because we're just going to see how much we can get done before the end of this stream. So guys, think about what you want to do. It's basically a day where everybody's just kind of hanging out. So just put some thought into what you want to do. Chase laser pointers, you know, punch your fist into iron blocks. I don't know, whatever. I know, I just said that because that's the one that I remember. Gotcha. So yeah, that's the plan, and we will be back in just a bit. Once again, a reminder, we are back here streaming again tomorrow night. It's going to be Storm King's Thunder, because Sean won't be around. So come watch as we make Pat give us more stupidly good items, because I say I don't want to shop, but if more items come up and I can convince him to make them non-attunement, I'm going to do it. We convinced him that a Ring of Action Surge needed to be a thing, so that worked out. So yeah. Alright guys, we will be right back. We're going to take a short break. Enjoy the tunes and the sweet BRB image designed by Miss Light Nevaeh herself. We will be right back. A good time.
Yeah.
Well, at least it looked like it from all of the smiling that I was watching.
We were talking about thick and juicy from Lux's GTA RP streams.
I had a feeling. But yes, that is what Farida looks like. To throw that out there.
She's badass.
Yeah,
I'm glad that we're gonna be good friends.
at least until she leaves.
Yeah, well, you know. Never hurts to help heal a soul before you part ways.
Sure. That's a thing you can say.
I said it.
You did. So anyway, folks, we're back. So there was some posting of links and things. If you want to check out the beta format for I will have formalized links for all of these once they're all done. But it's basically nerdimmersion.com/Roswen, that's ROSWEN, to see basically the current version of Katie/Roswen's character sheet if you're curious to see what her stats are and what spells she has prepared and things of that nature. These will be updated when the character's level, whenever that is. And the plan is to have character sheets like that for every character, for every campaign you see here on the stream. Possibly even going back to some old, long-since-dead ones, except for ones that like were a campaign that branched into another campaign, because we can't get the old character sheets because they continue to level. So, anyway. Alright, so you guys, it's your rest day. We kind of talked about that. What's going on your rest day?
I want to get us all together. I miss my girls.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you do you. It's like
Yeah,
everybody's
that.
like partying, so.
Yeah. Before that, I actually wanted to go check on the horses. How they're
Okay.
doing.
The ones that were Virgil's horses?
Yeah,
Or-
like the new ones and the other ones. Or the ones that trade off.
Gotcha.
You know,
Yeah,
basically I want to check on the two sets of horses. There you go.
fair. Yeah, they seem to be well handled. They are being handled by the knight, primarily, not Virgil anymore.
Yeah. I just give him a nod and walk on.
So, yeah. What else? Did you guys were gonna get together, you said?
Yeah, and in one of the, I guess we could get together in like Archie's old wagon thing. I don't want to be like out and about since we're purposely trying to like not act like we've known each other previous to this, but Rosalind misses her buddies.
Okay. So yeah, I'll say you guys all get together in your in Archie's old place. So, what do you guys want? You're all together now. Yeah.
Puddle puddle! No, I'm just kidding. Hi guys.
Hello. How's everyone?
I keep sending Boba to go check on stuff, but he just keeps telling me the same things over and over again.
Seems that he doesn't on saying.
I think he keeps telling me that he's just watching them diligently, but like I feel like he's mostly just hunting.
Probably.
I don't blame him. There's a lot of small creatures out here.
Are we like in a tent?
Yeah, we'll say you're like in the cart, like
Oh, good.
you're
I,
like protected.
freaking start removing my clothes because it's like, oh my god.
Yeah,
There's
There's
the
stuff
left side,
underneath. But it's just like, this is way too much for me.
sure.
Whatever.
Ugh.
I've seen your boobies. I don't care.
So, yeah, you guys are all hanging out, and you're in like a covered. We'll say it's like fairly protected from the outside prying eyes.
Yeah. Rosalind's gonna be like, I mean, I can, I'm prepping this right now, but I was gonna prep it for when I knew that we were having a downtime day. I can use Pass Without a Trace maybe on Mur if you wanna check in on the Cult of the Dragon again and see if we could get any more information. I'm just gonna mess everything up. I'm pink and clumsy.
That sounds good. What is the thing you're gonna use?
Pass Without a Trace gives you a +10 to your stealth check.
Did you ever fill that? I think she filled you in on what she. Oh, by the way, you guys had a long rest at the end of the day, so your spells are back and you're all healed up and things of that nature.
We talked about the thing, I think.
Yeah.
What thing? I'm so confused.
She had heard when she went and spied. She'd heard the word "beholder" come up.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, did we... I don't think we went and, like, did checks to see if we knew what that was.
Oh, I will also tell you that Boba has told you that they've been talking a lot about bees, is what he heard.
Bees?
Yeah,
Like buzzing bees?
He just said that they's talking about bees. Many conversations about bees.
Like about bug bees, Boba? Or, like...
I do not know what
Like-
the bug bee is, but they are saying bees.
You know, like... They're yellow and black, and they got little wings, and when they fly by you, they're gonna go bzzz, but if you try to eat them, they'll probably see you and it hurts a lot, you know.
No, I do not.
Oh, you don't know.
Also,
I'm sorry.
what is yellow?
Oh, do you not see color?
I really don't know if owls see color, but I'm gonna say they don't. Alright, everybody to Google. Go look it up. I can hear the keyboards typing already. Do owls see in color?
Can we get a nature check, Ted?
To see if owls see in color? Or
If they see in color or not.
to determine what the,
A reliable owl or not.
Search do owls. First thing that comes up is do owls poop, by the way.
No, they just throw up.
What I got. It's so weird.
They do not see in color.
So, what is this yellow?
It's like this bright and happy. You know what? If you don't know what it is, just don't worry about it, Boba. You're great. I would just, next time, like, try to pick up, like, context, where, like,
Yes.
are they talking about some sort of bugs, or are they talking about something totally different? If they're talking about something totally different, like, if you could, like, try to, like, hear the words that they are talking about around the word bees. You know what I mean?
No, but okay.
Okay, well, just do your best. You're really cute, and I think that you're great, and I appreciate everything you do for me.
And basically, when did this wasn't happening now? This was happening on a different night, we'll say, right? Or was
Yeah,
this happening
it's-
currently? Because then you guys are all hanging out, and Rosalind's just like, whoo, 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 and you're just like sitting there, and she's just hooting away at this owl.
I mean, would they be surprised? No.
Probably not. No.
No, because she's been having him go there every night. So, but yeah, if she would tell him that and then see if he comes back with anything different the next day.
Okay, well, you're still on your rest day. You're all together. I will say that, we'll say that Mir did tell you guys that she heard the word beholder.
Do I know what that is?
This is always the hard part of, like, a lot of people in, like, know of things. You can make me, I guess, an Arcana check.
21.
I'll say that you don't really have, like, too great a concept. You've heard that beholders are powerful creatures with a lot of eyes.
Okay. I draw.
Because your focus was mainly on dragons for your study.
Yeah.
So, like, you might have come across that, like, in reading history of, like, about dragons, but it wasn't really, like, a major focus.
I'm gonna draw a meatball with a bunch of lines coming off of it with little eyeballs at the end of them and be like, I think this is what it looks like.
Okay.
But I heard they're scary.
Yeah, I'll say, Lux, you've heard of these before.
Okay.
So you know that they're, like, not a thing you want to mess with, if you can help it.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I would not recommend fighting one. How about that?
How about that?
How about that? It's not good.
I mean, I try to avoid fighting at all costs, so I will endeavor to do so.
Alright. What else goes on Girl Hangout Day?
Sponge baths. No, I'm just kidding.
In the back of the fur and uncured hide filled wagon.
I'm kidding, that's gross.
Yummy.
No, I mean, she would just make sure nothing's weird is going on. I assume follow up with Lux on the horses. And that's about it for talking to them, but then end up going and hanging out with her buddy and talking to her more.
Okay. Did you guys have anything else you wanted to discuss as a group while you're there with Roswin and all of you guys are together? Anything that you guys wanted to bring up or talk about or discuss?
Mm.
Sounds
No,
like-
I mean, I don't think so.
Okay.
We just been doing our stuff.
Been doing your stuff.
Yep.
Alright.
We have been doing our stuff.
True. Okay. Well then, we will continue on to
Did I
Dave.
find out anything more about Frida?
I'm gonna say no. She asks you more about your history.
I tell her everything.
She's a little overwhelmed by the amount of knowledge, so then she's like, that's enough for one day. Like, that was a lot of stuff. You hit me with a
Okay.
lot real quick, so.
I mean, you asked.
Yeah, I just didn't know that you were gonna literally tell me everything. That's just, you're very open.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've been trying to not be as open with everybody, but I mean, you helped us fight, and that was very nice of you. And, you know, I think we bonded a little bit over racism.
She chuckles at that, the lighthearted chuckle, all things considered, and she says, yeah, I guess you're right. Well,
Okay,
I do enjoy our talks.
me too. You sleep well.
Alright.
And tell people if you have weird dreams, because apparently that matters.
I definitely will.
Alright, bye.
Bye. And, you, guys go to sleep. You wake up the next day. And Rosman, roll me a d20. I'll poke myself in the eye with the book.
13.
Okay. Things go by fairly normal until about the mid-afternoon. You guys come across. You hear no music because I didn't turn the music back on. So why don't I do that? Let's go with this one.
Uh-oh.
Come across. You hear the sounds of battle as you crest a hill or turn a corner or whichever makes more sense topographically at this point. And you see a freight wagon stranded on the road. The draft animals dead. You see a merchant and 3 what seemingly are bodyguards sheltered under the wagon with crates dragged between the wheels for cover. You can see under there are crossbows and bolts. But they are currently being assailed by 6 hobgoblins and what seemingly is a more elevated hobgoblin who is controlling all of them. They are content to keep... they're kind of seeming basically besieging this this caravan. And let's see. I don't know if you guys would know anything, but these hobgoblins, for any of you who have encountered hobgoblins, which isn't unreasonable, goblinoids are fairly common. These seem more savage than your normal hobgoblins. They are adorned with wolf furs. They have paintings of warg heads on all of their shields. And you see they also kind of basically has a big wolf theme going on. And that's about it. You do see, though, that the guys that are kind of underneath, they are... some of them you can clearly tell are injured. But they're still trying to hold their own as they're like plinking away with their crossbows. Kind of, again, trying to stay safe as these hobgoblins are attacking them with some things. Which I will tell you what they are when I figure out what hobgoblins have.
Okay.
Longbows. They're shooting at them with longbows. What do you guys do?
Attack!
You tell me.
Wait, where are we at again? Where is he?
You kind of come around the corner here and you see there is an overturn, like there's a freight wagon. The horses that were pulling the wagon are dead on the ground, like still in their rigging, just kind of slumped down. And there are 3 people, it seems like some kind of merchant and kind of like his bodyguards, like held up, trying to stay defensible underneath the wagon. They've pulled crates in front of the the openings between the wheels to try to protect themselves. You can see that they're bleeding and injured, and they each have a crossbow, and there's like a pile of bolts in the middle. And kind of like across the road are 6 hobgoblins and what seems to be a hobgoblin captain just raining longbow arrows down on them. I'll say they're 60 feet away.
Am I near anybody else?
Okay.
You are near Lux because that's where the way your carts are typically set up. She's right there.
So they're 60 feet away from us?
Yeah, we'll ignore the map itself, like the actual map. But yeah, they're basically 60 feet away.
I'm just thinking.
Yeah, they're like 60 feet away from your caravan. The caravan obviously stops. But most of the people here aren't like they don't know, like they're not fighters. They're not gonna like run up and go do this. Yeah.
I am.
Fair. You do know that, yeah, the one guy, I'm sorry, the 6 guys are shooting with a longbow. The other guy is wearing more plate armor. You see he's got a greatsword, point down in the dirt, and he's throwing javelins. And he's kind of like directing the 6 other guys.
One
real
second.
Quick before Lux leaves,
Mhm.
I'm gonna touch her and cast haste, and then I'm gonna send Pygat 60 feet forward to Mir.
Okay.
Touch her and cast haste too.
Okay.
I assume probably within the line she's at about 60.
Yeah. So, okay. Mir and Lux, you are both under the effects of haste. That will give you a hasted additional action to use on your turn. It also doubles your movement speed and gives you a +2 to your AC.
That just like totally changed my idea. As soon as I figure out.
Well, I'll say right now they're not really focusing. Like, your caravan is pulling up. I'll say there because you're 60 feet away. I mean, they like the captain may have seen you guys pull up, but they're heavily focused on this right now at the moment.
Okay.
Also, hurry up, it only lasts a minute.
Yeah. No. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into a rage.
Okay, as a reaction, sure.
Yep. And then I am going to so I could go up 40 and then another 40 after if I wanted.
You can your movement speed is 80 feet normally.
Cool.
So you have 80 feet of movement just all the time right now.
Cool. So I will go. How far would I have to use that? Was it chromatic orb spell?
Chromatic orb. If you want to use chromatic orb, it is a range of a thing, and I will tell you what that is. Its range is 90 feet, so you can actually hit him from here.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to pull out the whip. I'm going to use that.
Okay, it only hits one creature. I will tell you that.
Okay, then I will hit the one that's
the leader guy.
Captain?
Yeah, captain.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, so you pull that out. I'll say that can be your hasted action because you're using an object. And the object is casting chromatic orb, rather than you actually casting it. So you what you do is you crack the whip out like that, and as the whip is arcing back, you see the tip of the whip start to glow with fire, and as the whip, it shoots the fireball out of the end of the whip, or the chromatic orb, rather. So go ahead and make a spell attack roll. So that's going to just be a d20 plus whatever whatever it says. I think it's a +5 or whatever it says on the
It's
item.
7.
+7? Okay, so d20 plus 7. I should get some stuff set up here.
Hell yeah.
Alright, a 22. So yeah, that will hit him in his armor. Let me see, does he have anything crazy that he can do? No. So he's got that. So that does 22, and it does, I think it says 3d8 plus 5.
Yep.
Okay, so 3d8. Plus 8, sure.
Oh, +5?
I think it's 3d8 plus 5 is what the damage is.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll say. I don't know. I'm just going to say that
There.
till I look it up. So 19 points. So you guys see Lux kind of reach out with this whip. I should have had you guys roll initiative, but that's fine. And you crack the whip out, and this ball of fire hurtles towards him and deals 19 points of fire damage. Let me just see. Okay, he can't do that. Alright, cool. So you hit him with that. That was your hasted action. What else would you like to do? You still have your regular action and your bonus action, technically.
Yeah, I want to go up to him.
Okay, you run across
And
to
then
him.
and I want to swing my sword at it.
Okay. So go ahead and make an attack roll against this guy with your greatsword. A 20. 20 will hit.
And that's a crit?
No, that was a roll. That was a total of 20. Or are you saying you used your crit? I'm sorry.
No. I didn't. I know I didn't say it before, but I'm just wondering because.
Oh no, it's 13 plus 4 plus 3 is 20. So it's a not natural 20.
Okay, cool.
If that makes sense, yeah. So that is just a 20. You rolled a 20 total, not a natural 20. So you deal 19 points of damage. This guy is like, you basically, boom, boom, and you cut this guy, and he's like holding on to his greatsword to keep him up. He looks brutal. like he's barely hanging on by a thread.
Hmm.
You still have another attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Swing at him again.
Okay. That is also going to hit. And another 19. He had 1 HP. So you just basically kind of cleave him this way, and then you kind of go around the other way and complete the X, and he just like falls to the ground. And you are now, he is dead, and like his warriors all turn around and look at you, and there are 6 hobgoblins basically right there on you. However, I'm going to just say, because I didn't have them roll initiative, I'm going to count this essentially as a surprise round. So, Roswin, you're towards the front, so you can go. Odella, you already cast haste, and then Mir, you can also go, because you're like the fastest person in the world. Because you could double the haste, which would be 120 feet of movement in 6 seconds. Actually, you could... It's stupid the amount of things you could do, but you could do... you could get there, is what I'm trying to tell you.
So do I go first, or does she go first?
I'll say you go first, because she's got to get there. She's running, and she's, like, as fast as can be, but you're in the front of the line, so you'll get your go first, let's say.
Well, what's the weather like, Ted?
It is overcast, but it is not stormy yet. And your crystal ball told you that tomorrow it's gonna be rain and thunder.
I fight something tomorrow. Alright, I mean, regardless, I'm still, since it's a 60-foot radius, I'm gonna get as many of the hobgoblins in a call lightning as I can without hitting Lux.
Okay. Let's
So
look at...
120 feet.
Alright, so you can definitely... Yeah, oh, hang on. The dogs are barking. 1 sec. I will let you... So it can... So go ahead and roll the... cast the spell and roll the damage, and I'll make their saves.
Ooh, that's good, y'all.
Ooh.
Okay.
23.
Perfect. So, it is... so, just to clarify, so you're aware, because this is the first time you've cast it, it makes the storm cloud itself is a 60-foot radius, the storm cloud that appears above them. However, the bolt of lightning hits a point, and then every point within 5 feet of that.
Oh. So are they grouped together?
Yeah, they're grouped together. Enough
Okay,
that you
so
can
then
get...
do I get 4 of them? If I hit
Yeah,
and miss
yeah.
them?
Yeah, I'll say you get 4 of them. So that is 4 dex saves. DC 15. I'll just... $14, 4, 15, 12. I don't know what their dex is. A +1, so 2 of them make them, 2 of them fail. So go, and the damage was 23.
23.
Doesn't matter. And they all die from that lightning bolt, because they're, even if they make the save, it's still enough damage to kill them.
Great. I strike a cute anime pose, and I...
Let's see it.
On to the next.
Yeah, alright. And your storm cloud remains. Basically, the reason why the storm cloud is a 60-foot radius, because it's a 120-foot cloud, is that any point underneath that can summon the lightning bolt down.
Gotcha.
That makes sense. So,
Okay, yeah.
okay. Anything else?
Nobody got hurt yet, so I'm good.
Okay. So Mir, you are running like bat out of hell speed to get there, and as like you're getting close, you see like this lightning bolt just evaporate 4 of these guys. And you manage to skid so you're not hit by this, but there are 2 guys left in front of you. I think you're muted because you were chewing before.
I've been there.
Nah, nope.
Uh-oh.
Food, why you do this?
Worth it. I don't even care.
Is that good?
You're good. You're good. All right.
Yeah, I just have to restart Discord.
Yep. So there are 2 guys there.
Yes. Can I still do like a stealth?
Well, you just ran up, so no. But they are near Lux, so you can get sneak attack on at least one of them.
I want to do a sneak attack.
All right. So go.
One of them.
So go ahead and make me a short sword attack. 21 will definitely hit, and go ahead and roll damage. Yeah. Considering Roswin's save for half, so you just like, as you're running full speed, like there's 2 guys, like so there's all these guys, and like Lux is here because she killed the captain, and then there's this guy, and then these 4 guys that are dead. So you're just running up to get to that far guy, and then just like pull out a blade and are like, and keep going to the next guy. That guy head just kind of is like you get to the next guy. You still have a hasted attack and a bonus action offhand attack on this other guy.
Okay, let's see how long he lasts.
So you can make a regular. So go ahead and roll damage for that. That is not sneak attack.
Okay.
Doesn't fucking matter. So then you pull out the other blade, even though it would have to be the same blade per mechanics, but this is more fun. And you just kind of jab this guy in the chest and pull out the blade, put them both in. That guy falls over, and as you click the final sword back in its scabbard, the head of the first guy pops off to the ground. And yeah, they're all dead. Wow, that went a lot faster than anticipated.
Who's
Just
dying
look
now?
over. Yeah, right. I just look over at Nuart and Selvik, and I'm still on my horse, and I'm just like, well, I'm gonna go check on those people who are in the thing. I'll be right back.
Well, that's... Alright, so you go to... That's not what we want to do. So you go over and check on those people.
I was gonna say I'll probably get there faster.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah,
you
like lightning.
basically, yeah, Mir and Lux can get there pretty quickly. And yeah, then you eventually make your way over there.
Medic!
So yeah, you 2 make it over there. I'll say Lux and Mir, you're over there first, just because you're... For at least the next 54 seconds are ridiculously fast.
Then you gotta take a breather.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look. You guys are right.
The gentleman there, the kind of noble, crawled out, and you can see that he's got a couple of like arrow wounds in his legs, and let's go with this one. Maybe. Well, that's way too ominous. Nope.
That really is. I was like, I'm gonna cry. I don't know what his backstory is yet, but
That's better. So, yeah, you guys, he's like, oh, thank goodness you're here. We've been under siege by these ruffians for hours. Thankfully you made it here. Otherwise, I don't know how long we could have held out.
Della will very slowly stride forward, making her way through the people, and being like, "Excuse me, excuse me."
So yeah, you guys. He's like, we are forever indebted to you for helping us survive. We had some provisions, and you can see like underneath there now that there's like some foodstuffs, and again there's like the pile of crossbow bolts. But he said, their numbers were too much, for we are but 4, and they were 7.
Well,
Yeah.
you're safe now, and I got a spoon that makes extra food if you want to head our way.
And he says, well, he says, unfortunately, he said that would be fine. You are clearly passing through. Our horses are dead, and our wagon is stranded. I do not know if anyone has horses they are willing to sell in your caravan, but I would be more than willing to purchase horses to allow us to move my wagon. If not, I will gladly hitch a ride to the nearest town or hostel, someplace where I could purchase other draft animals. I will leave my guards here to guard my wares, and I will come back with horses so we can get on the move.
Well, Rosalind looks at Odell and she's like, well, I mean, we got that extra cart with the furs. We could give them that, but we gotta get rid of the furs too, so if they want to buy those too, I guess we could give them that.
Am I there yet?
Oh, I thought you were there already.
I don't know. You
She's
guys are all
just going,
super fast
"Excuse
right
me,
moving
come
through the Rhine. I just
Hey, Odell!
and then I just like saw a bunch of shit happen. I'm like, I guess I'll make my way up there.
Making my way downtown. We'll say you're there. And I ask you that.
Okay. I'll kind of look and is technically my stuff. We need to talk to Reginald and cheer him up, by the way. I keep forgetting about that. I'll be like, well, yeah, I actually have a cart and some furs and some horses that I don't really need. So if you're willing to purchase them from me, you can have them.
And he says, well, I'd be more than glad to purchase the horses. I don't really need the furs. I do have my own caravan wagon full of supplies that I need to sell. So, the horses would be great.
Can we put the furs in the other cart? Is there like too much furs to put in the... I have 2 carts.
Yeah, because they were carting 2 carts worth of furs and uncured animal hides. I mean, you could probably toss the uncured, slimy animal hides.
Yeah, let's just get rid
Or
of
keep them, whichever. What's the...
They're smelly, I don't like them.
Alright, I will say, if you want to toss the uncured animal hides, that you can fit all the furs in 1 cart.
Let's do that.
Okay, I'm down with that.
Ladies, agree. Lux.
Yes.
I.
Okay.
Alright, let's do that.
So you guys move all the nasty, slimy furs. Uncured animal hide. There's still some of them have a little bit of viscera left on them. It's gross.
I will prestidigitate whatever's...
Did you have
gross.
prestidigitation?
I do now.
Because you let her switch out the one she didn't use.
Fair. Okay. Done. Then I don't have to give you that other magic item I was going to give you. It did other things, but now I just... That one's off the list.
Oh, well, dang.
Well, I try to give you guys things that'll make it easy for you guys. Because,
But yeah, I'll prestidigitate and clean off everything so there's no gunkiness left.
Got it.
in there.
Yeah, and he says, how much do I owe you for the horses? Or the cart? Or both,
What's
I
like
guess.
Do I know of like a decent going rate for like market price? I'm not trying to like...
I wouldn't know, huh?
Unfortunately, your ability that you have doesn't tell you that. It's like, it's more treasure related, less pack animal related. Yeah, no. Let me see, because it's not. Unfortunately, when you go to look it up, it doesn't tell you, but I will tell you in 2 seconds here. Equipment. Let's see here. Draft. We'll say they're draft horses, right? That makes sense. 50 gold for draft horses.
A piece?
Yeah. I mean, that's how they would be for, like, brand new, like, well, you know, like, well-fed and well-kept horses, you know, like, if you were buying them from, like, a breeder.
And does he need the cart, or is he just taking the horses?
He really just needs the horses. I mean, his wagon is intact. The horses are really what he truly needs. I mean, if you really want him to move all of his stuff from one cart to the next, he'd do it, but he really just needs the horses.
Okay, then whatever. Leave the cart. It's one less thing I have to look after, and I can just ride my horse again instead of driving a cart around.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll tell him 100 gold then.
Okay, and he'll gladly pay it.
And add that to the party.
So, we're going to move the other set of furs up there, and we're going to change this name to Reginald.
Reggie?
This is going to be Frank. That's the guy. That's the merchant. Frank. So, he says, well, I thank you very much. My associates and I, we thank you greatly. It would have been and I'm sure they are more than happy to not have to sit on the side of the road guarding my wares while I go and fetch horses. And you see them all kind of like, yeah, that's obviously the ideal situation. We just got attacked by hobgoblins. We're not just going to stay here. It's kind of dumb. But he pays us, so, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, well then, I guess we should be on.
Yep.
Okay, travel safe.
Well, they're just going to go with you.
I'll be like, hey, anybody want to buy a cart? No?
No.
Anybody want to buy some gross furs? Anybody? No?
They're not gross
Okay.
anymore, you cleaned them.
I guess before we go, I just want to check if there's anything on the...
Yeah, let's
On the
search
hobgoblins, you said?
Yeah.
Thank
See
you
if I can find
for
a
the
file.
follow.
Yay, thanks for the follow.
The hobgoblins, the little ones there, have chainmail and shields, long swords and long bows. And the captain has a great sword, nothing special about it. He wears half-plate armor, and he has, we'll say, 2 javelins left.
No, cool. I'll pull those.
Javelins are javelins, so.
Mm-hmm.
So we put the armor in the cart as much as
Yeah.
distribute it so that the horses aren't too weighed down, and then sell them when we get to the city.
Yep, I grabbed those. So it was... What was it again? Chainmail.
And then there were
6 sets of chainmail, 6 long swords, 6 long bows, say 60 arrows, why not? 1 great sword, 2 javelins, and then a set of half plate.
yeah.
Okay, so I have plate 6
Chainmail.
chain, long bow,
Long sword,
1 sword, 1 great sword. What was
Yep.
the other one?
half plate?
Yeah, I got that. Okay.
Cool.
Oh, and 60 arrows.
60
right?
arrows, yeah.
That's what it was. Okay, got it.
Cool. Okay, I'm gonna also say, because we're coming up, we're pretty much right at time here. I will give you guys a couple of things I will tell you. One, that evening, as you guys come to a rest, You get 625 experience each. Alright, couple other things.
You said 625?
625. So that is the thing. You also... Oh, let's see who wins. There you go. Big free-for-all there. It was worth 300 flint bucks. Just the more people enter. The more people enter, the more you win. So I will say, because this was a couple days travel, that Odella, as you are going down your caravan, learning everybody's names and things like that, the next cart above those people that did want to talk to you is there is a female dwarf who's kind of the guard, kind of watching, and the one controlling the wagon. It's a female dwarf. Her name is Tyjit, Tyg or Jit, and you get, as you talk to her for a little while, she has a serious temper and is very quick to anger. You figure out in your super not awkward way of probing people for information. And she also is like honest to a fault. Like when you're talking to her and they're like, oh, blah, 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 she just basically is like, oh, do you make a lot of friends that way? Because I feel like that's a pretty good way to isolate people, because you don't just fucking go up to people and just ask them a bunch of questions. It's just weird. You gotta develop a rapport. It's a whole thing of diplomacy and conversation. So that's what you learn from her. And in the back of the wagon is a half...
To be fair, I asked the weird questions to the one lady because I couldn't see it and she had weird eyes.
Yeah, but then you were like, so were you adopted?
Because it was a curious thing that she had a dragonborn, but then she looked like a normal human tiefling.
Fair. I'm just telling you, this is the personality that you pick up on. And in the back of that caravan is a halfling who you've noticed over the past couple days he eats alone. He doesn't really talk to anybody. He sits in the back of the caravan and looks like wistfully off into the distance as you drive, like, and the trails as you pass by, but doesn't really speak to anybody, doesn't open up, doesn't really talk. So you get that much. I'll tell you that. Then the next caravan in front of you is where Mir is stationed. And then the one in front of that is Virgil. And then Roswin, you said you wanted to see what was going on with weird stuff up your end.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, in the very front is Lascivious Longnose, the guy who kind of rubbed everybody the wrong way when he was trying to buy Odella's head tiara thing. Right in front of you, basically, is where Brenda is the guard who was made the soup the one time. And she is the guard for a man you learn, a human man, named, he goes by Sam the Hoper. And he is carting porcelain, which you feel is probably not the best idea, because this is a bumpy road, not a place to carry easily breakable goods. But he is a guy, he's a male human, but I don't want to say you automatically take a liking to him, but this dude is the happiest, nicest guy you have ever met in your life. He is like just a ray of sunshine, the best optimist, everything's great, the glass is always half full. He's super nice. He goes and he's helping anybody that seems like they're like down on their luck. He's helping people out. He's making sure people have enough food, cooking, and he is just like, you know, he's just super happy and super nice. Like to the point where some people, like more ornery people, don't like him.
I like him a lot.
He's
after
just
I get used to him.
Yeah, he's just super nice. Like he doesn't seem like he has a lot of money. And I guess if you talk, would you talk to him at all?
Well, I would talk to him about the fact that he's cutting porcelain, and knowing that Odella's looking for a mending spell, kind of assume that he's got to have a way to get everything there in one piece, and ask, after like conversing with him and like exchanging ideals and happiness, I would ask him if he has the mending spell.
He says, "Oh no, I don't have the mending spell, but that's okay, because I don't think anything's bad's gonna happen." He's like, "The sun is kind of shining right now. It's there. It's shining somewhere, and I know that sky is blue somewhere else. So it's okay." And I feel like it's a little gray, a little misty, but that's okay. It's kind of hot out, so it's not the worst. It's everything's looking up, and I'm not really worried. There's a lot of good people here. I think my caravans is gonna be fine. I put a lot of padding in my wagon. I don't think anything is gonna break. That's why I didn't bother, with the mending spell, because there's no reason. Everything's gonna be fine.
Well, I think that's a super way to look at things, but also, I'm hired by these guys over here, but just in case, as long as I make sure they're all okay and their cargo's okay, I know Brenda. We've been talking the past few nights. Just friends helping friends. I'm gonna keep an eye out for your wares too, because I know you're not worried, but like I just think back to how many dishes I've broken in my life just from stumbling a little bit, and I worry. So
He goes, "Wow, you were super nice. That's so nice. Wow, it's good. The world is this just reaffirms my sunny disposition on life. That there are people, just like me and like you out there that are out there helping everybody. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's how most people are, but you're just helping to validate that lifestyle, that way of life. I just, man." And the more you talk to him, you realize that the reason that he's only a reasonably wealthy man is that he's so charitable. Like this guy, like any urchin that's down on their luck or anybody that comes up with a sob story, he will go out of his way to like pay for a nice meal, get them back on their feet, and he's just like the most he is like good Samaritan charity guy incarnate.
what's his name?
His name is Sam. He's got a longer name, but he just goes by Sam. But everybody calls him Sam the Hoper because he's so hopeful.
Okay. Well, Sam, I think you're super, and I like your outlook. I feel like so many people don't have that kind of, positivity in their life, and it's good to see another person just looking out, I do my best to, give meals to people who need it, and, just help other people out, because I lived by myself for a long time, and when I was in the city, it was kind of poopy, to be honest. So you just gotta help out, and I think you're super, and I'll try to give an extra hand to Brenda if she needs me. But look at her. She's great. She doesn't need me. But just in case, I'm here.
He goes, "Well, that's just great. I thank you so much. I look forward to many conversations and fun stories and good traveling together in the future." And he's just like, his teeth like sparkle with like a ding, even though there's no sun because it's gray, but he's just like super nice.
I find Odella later on, and I'm just like, we need to find a mending spell. This just reeks of everything could go wrong at any turn. We need to find someone.
Should we ask Farida?
Yeah, I would ask Farida at one point and be like, "Hey, mending?"
Is that how we do it? Hey, mending?
I mean, we know each other now. We've been talking for a few days, and I would tell her about Odella, who is, doing her best to help out the guy she's traveling with, and B, about Sam, who is like the nicest person I've ever met, and it's hard for me to say this, but maybe too nice. and he's traveling with porcelain, and that's just horrible for a bumpy road like this.
She does not have mending. She says the kind of magic that I cast doesn't. That's not a spell I can use.
Oh, well, do you know anyone else in the caravan who might have it?
She says I don't, but I can look around and see maybe.
Okay, I'd appreciate it. Just let me know if you find it.
Okay. So, last thing I will tell you before we kind of bring the stream to a close is, basically before we come back next time, it's going to be a 3-day stretch. I've told you, Odella, basically what you saw looking through your places, but it is raining and thunderstorming for these 3 days, but nothing happens. Yet. It's still raining and thundering, though. However, you guys will have basically 3 days on the caravan to work things out, talk to things. There were 2 other things that I will tell you. Roswin, the woman behind you, in the caravan behind you, she goes by the name Green. Green Imsa is her name. She's a female human. And she goes by Green because literally from head to toe, she is green. Her eyes are green, her teeth are green, her nails are green, her hair is green, her skin is green. Everything is solid, like Kelly green.
What does she look like? Does she look like a human?
A completely normal human woman, but totally green.
Completely normal human.
Her skin, hair, eyes, nails, teeth, everything is green.
That's a lovely shade of green.
When you talk to her, because I'll say you probably did because you have 3 days, you find out that she's going to Waterdeep in search of a cure for this curse that happened to her that made her green.
Is that literally it? You're just green?
Yes. But she's very closed off as to what caused the curse and doesn't want to talk about it, but will tell you that she's seeking out a cure. She says, she goes, I know I know it's just a color, but you wouldn't think it. But in this world we live in, it's not easy being green.
Good lord.
What you fucking did.
And one day Boba comes back to you and says, so, I have determined one new word. They're discussing holders.
Oh, bee holders, right?
Well, I only heard of bees and also of holders.
You're so cute. I love you so much. You're doing a good job. Keep it up.
Very good.
Here's some rations.
And he,
And then away at one point, I stop at Lux's and I'm like, Boba's not very good at English. I don't think this is working.
Common isn't his first
What are you
language.
saying?
Or common. Well, you know how he was saying there were bees? Well, today he said they were talking about holders.
TV.
Sounds an awful lot like bee holders.
Yeah. So, your little owl friend is only catching half stuff.
Yeah, I think that it's time to see if Mer's willing to stealth it up one night, maybe the next night. But there'll be loud noises from the storms, so it'll be even easier for her to be sneaky.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so you guys get that information, and we will start back up 3 days hence the caravan encounter. Yeah, so that's it, guys. We will be back to play with you guys again in 2 weeks' time. That will be the 26th of June, so we will catch you then. But anyway, guys, I hope you have a great night. I hope we see you here tomorrow for some Storm King's Thunder. Good night, everyone.
Adios.
Good night.